another fascinating edition of the program.
You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, Tuto Spoon.
But let me now welcome Dr. Richardson and my very good friend James. Good evening from my end, and welcome.
Hi, Aaron. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Little by
That's-
little.
Oh, good. So little by little. Good
Yeah.
morning, President of the GM Club.
Yeah, good evening.
How are you doing?
Got money was okay.
Okay, that's good. So we all are looking to get membership into the. How much is the membership to the GM Club, or that just prayers?
As long you are alive, you are part.
I think you need to have faith that
Oh,
God is mighty.
that's good. That's good. But how do you measure faith?
And that is individual.
I think
Ability. You know how you can do it, but
And our rice business here, we gotta have data. We gotta get data. How we can measure faith? We gotta set a criteria for measuring faith, so we can know when you run out of faith. You know, we can know what the consequences are and how to motivate you. You see, right now in the situation, we don't have no measurement. We don't know what our current stock is. We don't know anything. So that where we are right now. But in this GM club, we gotta have some guidelines. President of the GM.
Faith is just measured by your belief.
your belief. Yes.
So I can believe in
And
anything.
just
I can believe in my tree, then outside our faith.
If that way your faith lasts, yeah.
Hey God, thank God you're not in my class. Let's move forward. I'll ask you a question until we go to the last degree of this faith of yours here. If that were my faith lasts, the faith in the rocks outside, faith in the trees outside, TV, faith in my mankind, any of those things. Once I believe in those things, then I can be a member of the GM club.
No, with this, we're talking about God.
yeah, so you know that the G in the GM club means God. So
I
if
know.
you believe in if you believe in God, then you should have faith in Him. That is
Now we fine tuning the data now. We fine tuning the data. Okay.
We're wrapping it.
Small, we get in there. Anyway, yeah, just take me back to the classroom. Let's get out of the classroom and come to Spoon TV. We want to welcome all of you guys that are joining us today. We like to have fun on Spoon TV. We also just like to bring you the information as it is happening in Liberia. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to have another interesting edition of Spoon TV because we have some awesome guests for you. We have some Liberians who are residing in the United States, and they are eyeing political offices, something to be very proud of, something to be inspired by, that there are Liberians in this country where we call the Great United States that are eyeing, and some of them are actually in political office, but they are looking to run again for their seats. And so it will be such an inspirational conversation that we do have people who walk the same walk, drink the same water that we drank, came from the same place in Liberia, that they can cross the Atlantic Ocean and come here and beat the system. All of the odds they had against them in this system, they were able to run for political office. And some of you say, oh, how does this impact us? We're in America, the people in America, they're eating fried chicken, lobster, and all of that stuff that we're supposed to know about their political positions that they're eyeing. Okay, some of you guys are asking that question, that we supposed to know about the political positions that
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. When we put these people in political offices in the United States, they get to speak for us on a different level. Okay, they become our representative worldwide. Wow, they don't forget about us. I know of one person, Nikita Ricks. The last time January I was in Liberia, she was in Liberia as well, speaking for Liberia. She was there representing our cause, speaking for Liberians in the United States and Liberians in Liberia. So it'd be great to have them on. You guys can include me when they come in the back. We will begin the conversation as the team joins us. The team will be joining us today, but we'll begin this conversation here with them. As we wait to hear, I want to welcome all of you watching Spoon today. I'm going to do that. I like to do that because I don't take it for granted that you are here today. I have such a good life. I don't sit down and eat chicken and lobster all day. I was working before I got here. I was running a little late today, as a matter of fact. Uh, James Good Day. He has said he hustling. He don't sit down in wherever he is. I'm not gonna call it. He can feel at liberty to speak wherever he is. He's hustling. He's trying to improve his life and become a better version of the God mining president, club president right now. Aaron Kubert, you see, Aaron's at the studio right there. He's doing his best. He presents well. He has an awesome introduction. Aaron, you went to school for this thing because you're very good and it just seems so natural to you. You practice this
Yeah,
thing, yeah, huh?
yeah. I've been practicing for not really, long like in the case of Rufus, because Rufus always tells me that he's been around for about 17 years now. So, but I think it's close to 7 years now, and yeah.
I can
So
I can tell
yeah,
that you're not just an amateur. I can tell the difference between when people who are just starting versus somebody who have, and yes, of course, Rufus is the mentor. He's the grand
yeah,
the OG for all of you guys. So
yeah. So yeah. So
and
we've been
I
around
mean,
not too long.
you can miss Good Day because Good Day here we just like the politics. I can see here Rufus sometimes I can watch the dynamics between people. The Rufus can be wanting to stay with a humanitarian aspect. Good Day can be trying to push him the other way. Say ask the question.
Every day, Red Cross, Red Cross.
Echo, Rufus
That is only humanitarian group that people's gonna know.
He doesn't like to dive into politics.
And no,
Yeah,
there's
maybe
something
that's
about
his
Rufus and
own
Red
area
Cross.
of
He worked for them before. Rufus worked for Red Cross before, so he always carrying it. Instead, the only humanitarian group that in the country, Red Cross.
you see the people bring politics into
yeah.
it. You see? Uh,
I really mentioned Rufus because I want Jim to carry on his mission. I just
Now call him.
want to
Just call
compare.
Rufus on his phone and say, "What's the latest update from Liberia?" Red Cross is calling all everyone.
Before coming for you, Chiku, before coming back to work, you see, Rufus, if you listen to Chiku, is on your case here, okay? So get back to him. It's if you're joining us, we're just having some small talk, waiting for our guests to come in. We're having fun here. This is the beauty of working in a diverse group. We get to respect each other's contribution that they make. Aaron is here all the time. He's the producer in the back. We appreciate you, Aaron, and Good Day, of course, comes in and give us other update. He keeps us well informed of the different information, even though sometimes I don't see eye to eye, especially when he's talking that hey, percentage talk. I mean, he's not into that percentage talk there. So, so we don't see eye to eye. So I see kind of post on here. I just jump over it because that other thing I not going there with him. But anyway, what did you say, Aaron?
I said yes, but I had a percentage thing. But yesterday at a press conference, someone said the percentage will add zero beyond that 7. So
There you
to
see.
make it 7. So we,
There
we,
you
we need to
go.
look up for that and see how it happens. James,
Yes.
at the press conference yesterday, someone said they will make sure they'll put zero beyond the 7 to make it 7.
Oh, so he spoke of it yesterday.
Can you see the point? You think Jay Kudeti and you talking seriously, they're gonna be
It was
after a press
it was,
conference?
it was Louis Brown, former information minister, who said they will make sure to put zero beyond that 7. He said he is aware that many people called Mr. Cummings 7%. So you know that they will put zero beyond the 7 to make it 70. Uh, so we look out for that. Maybe that would change James.
I had many jeans, yeah, because they went and mentioned what jeans can be talking about, put in press conference by Louis Brown at that rate. So now what jeans that you got that thing can be talking about that. I say, oh, they put mentioned by the press conference, they put by 7% subject. If you got it wrong, you don't know. So you got it wrong.
We have one of the guests in the back.
Okay, yes. Let me just welcome a few of our people here. Ambrose Opa Kalon, we welcome you to the show. Adolphus Cooper, welcome you to the show. Sis Richard Dix, welcome. She's watching all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. Hi, Sis Richard, how are you doing? Insurmountable Van is watching. Of course, Joseph Sifa is watching. And Tawa Johnson, I'm not going to talk this thing that I talking on Jim Kude kind of conversation. I'm not going there with you, but welcome to the show. Isaac Maobari Nipo Senior, he says hello. He's watching from Minnesota. Musukita is also watching the show. Andy Bato, he says, I'm following live. Thank you for joining us. Linda Yempen is watching. She says, hello, Spoon TV. Jonathan Tukpa Roberts, he's watching. Desmond Bori is watching. Johnson Preston Vani is also here. Charles Berry says, hi, Doc. Hi to you too. Lloyd D. Eastman is watching from Monrovia. Micah Malu is watching from the DC area. Louis Honoré is watching from Johnson City, Tennessee. We got 2 Tennessee in the house. Melvin Deshies watching from Europe. Somebody's watching from Europe. That's always great. That just it sort of tells us how we service a wide range of people. Holland D is watching from Philadelphia. Jonathan Blibo he says he's watching. And my own sis from Bon Mines, Robina Fametta Louis. Is that? Oh, okay. No, I think Robina Fametta Louis Vincent. Yes, that's you, Robina. She's watching from Seattle. What's she watching from Seattle? You got me confused, Robina. After you're in Minnesota, I know you're visiting Seattle. That's my own Bon Mines sister. Grew up together. I was her big sister too. So that's it. Just some laugh there, Rabina. Edwin Gray, he's watching from Houston, Texas. Yvette Burnett is watching from Florida. Joa K. Swa watching from Columbus, Ohio. Hawkins G. Reese watching from Korea. Gosh, we got somebody watching from Korea. Henry Paso is watching from North Carolina. Michael is watching from New York. So there's a host of you watching from all around the world. We really thank you that you are joining us today. We appreciate you. We don't take your time for granted. Continue interacting with us by way of commenting. All right. So if you want to bring our guests back in, good day. I'll be gracious. Hello, Councilman.
Yes, hello. How are you all doing?
We're doing great. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good. Hi, Representative Nikita.
Hi.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you as well. Thank you.
Yes. So the team will be joining us, but I would like to just begin the conversation with both of you. I want to welcome you to Spoon. I know this is not Councilman Russell's first time. And Nikita, I don't think this is your first time. Remember, you were here. We were discussing about Liberia, like the return to Liberia, I believe.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes. And it's a pleasure having you. So I'd like to just start basically by asking Councilman Russell to just tell us a little bit of himself, introduce himself to the audience out there, and also Representative Nikita Ricks, you'll be next to introduce yourself.
Well, thank you. And it's always great being on Spoon TV. And I'd like to say hi to all of your guests out there who are watching from all over the world, and to your production team behind the scenes who are making this happen. So we looking forward to the rest of the team joining and coming in. So we have a pretty healthy conversation about what we're doing and what we hope to do in the future. I'm Winfred Russell. I serve as a city council member here in the city of Brooklyn Park in Minnesota. And I've been on the council now for 4 years. My term expires in December, and I'm running for mayor at this time. So I'm leaving the city council seat and I'm moving up to running for mayor. So I've been very actively involved in the community for a very long time. I have an education and a public health background, so my academic training in those areas, education, higher education, and public health. And now I am a local policymaker. So it's great being here, and hopefully we can have a pretty nice conversation with the rest of the guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I also want to welcome Chief Sintamalin Nawala George. Just joined us. He's one of the panelists here. Tamalin, we just had Councilman Russell introduce himself. We're going to go to Representative Nakita Ricks to introduce herself, and then we'll just go into asking them questions, okay? Representative Nakita Ricks, I want to call you Nakita, but I'll just be respectful.
Thank you. No, thank you so much, Dr. Francine. And thank you, Spoon TV, for having us and inviting us. Hello to everyone watching from Liberia and around the world. My name is State Representative Naquita Ricks. I represent the 40th District in Colorado. I have been in office for 2 years, and I'm running for my second term. My background is that I'm a businesswoman. I'm the founder of the African Chamber of Commerce. I also have a mortgage company that I run, and decided to get into politics over 7 years ago, and finally won in 2020. So that's a story in itself, and maybe we'll get into some of that as we go along.
Great. Wow. I want to first of all just congratulate both of you for successfully completing at least the term of office, and running again is quite an achievement. Most people might not realize that, but it's really inspiring to see our fellow Liberian in this role. So I appreciate both of you greatly. So tell me, George, let's start with you. Do you have any comments, questions for Councilman and State Representative?
Well, it was good to see the councilman. The last time we were together were in Liberia. Had a nice time. I think his brothers got married. He invited me to his cookout. And also Miss Ricks, who met the president. She was in our meeting last time we were together. Okay. So nice to see you guys. I'm happy that you guys have done what you needed to do in your respective positions and seeking re-election. And I'm happy to interact with you guys again and look forward to having an interesting discussion.
Awesome. Yes. Okay. So I'd like to just start, and either one of you can begin, but this is the first question to you. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the work that you've done in your community and how you have impacted the community at large at first, and then in Liberia, how you are representing Liberia and Liberians in your community?
I'll jump in. So the work that I've done I've always been active in my community, but in the last 2 years, I've been able to pass 19 bills as a junior representative. Worked really hard on some very key legislation. We passed the first Immigration Defense Fund bill in the country, which allows people who are going through the deportation process to have access to an attorney. The immigration court in the US is the only place where you do not get access to an attorney. And so when Colorado passed that law, we became the first to do that. I've passed legislation around towing that helps with predatory towing. I've helped our HOA pass transparency and accountability in HOA legislation that has helped a lot of homeowners in Colorado. I've done things around teacher diversity. But
Representative Ricks, maybe you need to tell the folks what HOA means, because I don't think.
Oh, okay, that's right. I'm taking it for granted.
Urban planning lingo, I'm not sure they'll understand that.
Right. So HOAs are homeowners associations, and basically homeowners associations manage like a community. So if it's like a development or housing development, they are the board that runs the community. In Colorado, they have a lot of power. and they were foreclosing on people's homes because they didn't cut their grass, or maybe because they didn't have they had grass stains on their driveway. They didn't put the garbage can in, and they were fining people to a point where they were able to get them into court and try to foreclose. And so that was a big deal, because within our community, there were over 50 homes that were being impacted, that were actually on the foreclosure list. And so this bill went a long ways to try to help those homeowners to maybe get out of foreclosure, and to stop these HOA boards from foreclosing on future violations that are covenant violations. It's very difficult to buy a house in America, and to lose your house because maybe you didn't paint your fence or you didn't cut your grass is just egregious and just crazy. I've done a lot of work within our immigrant community here. During COVID, we had the first vaccination clinic. The immigrant community was a community that was being ignored. There was a lot of confusion around the vaccines as far as who could access them, how you could access them. You had the age restriction. And I remember in February 2021, when we did the first vaccine clinic, I partnered with an Ethiopian church in my community. We vaccinated over 400 people, and from there we continued to vaccinate, and people felt like they had just hit the jackpot. So that's part of it. I've also, like I said, I'm the founder of the African Chamber of Commerce, where we advocate for small businesses who are here in our area, and we make sure that they get access to resources. During COVID, they needed resources to keep their rent paid, to find food, so there were so many needs in our community, and we stepped in to make sure that we were a voice. We did weekly town halls to do that. In Liberia, I've also done work. I've worked with our surfing community in Kipma County. We registered the surfing association there. Last year, we sponsored the surf meet that went on. We've done women empowerment conferences. I supported the bicentennial through an investment conference, and also women empowerment, and helped to plan that. So I'm pretty active, and we'll be doing more work in Liberia this December.
Thank you so much. Councilman Russell? We can't hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. So I represent the West District on the Brooklyn Park City Council. And for context, the West District has more Liberians living in the West District of Brooklyn Park than you have anywhere else in the country. So my claim to fame is that I represent more Liberians than anyone else, outside of Liberia. So you have almost about 8,000 Liberians living in my district. So it is significant. So what that means is that whatever I do here for the larger community and the larger city, I'm always thinking about my constituents, and so I have a huge Liberian constituency, and so my work here impacts them here and also back in Liberia, because they're concerned about that. I was at the forefront of the DED work that ultimately gave Liberians, about 10,000 Liberians across the U.S., gave them a pathway to U.S. citizenship, and that brought on the LRIF. Now, the LRIF is the only immigration policy that was passed during the Trump administration. There was no other immigration success story under the Trump administration. So you had DACA, you have many other immigration programs going through, bills going through, but the LRIF, the Liberian Refugee and Fairness Act, was the only one that went through and was signed by the Trump administration. So we were at the forefront of it. That, there were a lot of folks, across the U.S. Naquita Ricks out of Colorado, Nathan Bia out of Rhode Island, Wilma Collins out of Helena, Montana, Michael Elliott out of Brooklyn Center. Many of us work on this, and you have EULA and the Liberian Embassy, the Liberian Community Group here. But those of us who are in policy making positions, I mean, we work very closely with our legislators, at least from the state of Minnesota. And that effort was led from Minnesota and from Brooklyn Park, because for us as a city, we said, look, if we send back, 5,000 or so Liberians from here who are on DED, that is an existential threat to our city. Would affect our bottom line. So many of the folks who live here, Liberians, they have family here, they've had kids here, they're in our school district. So it would impacted us in so many ways than it would have impacted many other places around the country. So for us, it was something that we had to get involved in. So the city of Brooklyn Park got involved in that fight and was one of the leaders in it. And so ultimately, we got that immigration relief that gave a pathway to citizenship for about 10,000 Liberians across the country. But as you know, 10,000 Liberians who were directly impacted by that, they have kids, they have families, they have a lot of, our family system we have this sort of extended family system. So many of them benefited from that. So more recently, we've been working on COVID-19 and COVID-19 response. So many of the vaccines that you see that were distributed during the early stages of COVID-19, there was work that I did too with Senator Tina Smith, our U.S. Senator from Minnesota. We worked very closely with her in giving some of our excess COVID-19 vaccine to Liberia and other developing countries. And so I was behind that effort. I called many of the Liberian government officials at the time, trying to make that connection. So these are some of the things that we've done. So many folks don't see our direct impact and say, okay, what have you guys done? But we do a lot, behind the scenes, because we can influence policymakers. We can influence policy directed towards Liberia. I'm not going to go into detail, but I tell you, I get a lot of calls and a lot of emails from congressional offices when the Liberian government reach out to them about certain issues or certain policy, or Liberian government official, they reach out to us. They contact us, to find out, say, hey, what do you all think about this? What's your view on this? So those of us who are, blessed to be serving our people here, this is not just about here. This is also about there. And we are a big inspiration to a lot of Liberians here. They're looking up to Naquita Ricks. They're looking up to Yakasa Weyi. So many of these Liberians who are working here and serving their communities here, but they are also very deeply involved in Liberia. And lastly, the city of Brooklyn Park, we have a sister city relationship with the city of Kakata. The city of Brooklyn Center next door has a sister city relationship with Wonjama. So what does that sister city relationship does for us? So we have a room here. We have a conference room in the city hall that is named the Kakata Room. We have exchanges between the city of Kakata and the city of Brooklyn Park. So if you go into the Kakata Room, you have artifacts from Kakata. You see the whole cultural display about the different cultures in Kakata. In Magibi County is in the Kakata Room. So it's an educational opportunity for not only Liberian immigrants or Liberians, but others to learn a thing or two about the city of Kakata. We've provided police uniform, a fire truck, ambulances. We've worked to build the capacity of the city council in Kakata. And I'll tell you, I know, Dr. Richardson and Representative Ricks, you all would would be interested in this. But when we established this sister city relationship with Kakata, we wanted to be certain that they, because we don't just go and sign up and establish sister city relationship with just anybody, just nilly-willy, you know. There has to be shared interest and shared value. And so one of the things we talked about with them at the time, the mayor who was there at the time during the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration, I think it was Mayor Murphy, we talked about our value that with some of these things were important to us, that we needed representation, to see women represented at city council. And to listen. And so the last time when I went to Kakata, it was the first city council meeting I've been to in Liberia where you have a very equal representation, gender representation of men and women. So we've had a really good relationship with them. Their folks come here, we work with them, we go there. And as you know, they have designated 6 acres of land in Kakata as Brooklyn Park, you know, that will be turning into a park. So these things are, you know, these things are important. And so that's why it is great that we support, you know, not only because I'm running, you know, for mayor or Nakuda is running, but it's significantly important that we support our Liberian immigrant or lawmakers here of Liberian immigrant descent, because they do a lot to foster that relationship and good relationship between the here the U.S. and Liberia. We've provided playground equipment to Painesville. We provide, you know, Brooklyn Park. That is, we provide a lot of support. The food kitchen at Providence Baptist Church. We give them, you know, food and supplies, you know, and all of that. These are things that we are continuously working on and continuously doing, and that would not have happened if we've not been in these different positions.
Okay. Thank you. And before I go on to ask Sentimile George and welcome also Honorable Kev Hassan to the show, before I go on to the both of them, I just want to share that just a summary of what you just shared with us. If people that are audience that are just joining us, we have state representatives like Kia Riggs with us, and we have Councilman Winfred Russell here with us today, and this is going to be an inspirational show. Representative like Makita Riggs have shared with us all of what she's done. She told us she passed 19 bills so far. That is very impressive. 19 bills. That's very impressive. And she's involved, you know, in teaching diversity. You know, there's a Liberian child or even an American child who sits in a class and she supports diversity, who's going to learn about other people so that when they grow up, they can be a better person and contribute to humanity. She's been involved in the homeowner associations so that you just won't get kicked out of your home just because you didn't pin your fence or you didn't cut your lawn. And so she fights for people, and you could be an immigrant or Liberian who's among those people who are about to lose your home. She's fighting for you. She has been involved in surfing in Cape Mount. Cape Mount is the hometown of my family people, my dad specifically. Surfing, what do you know? We have such a rich Lake Piso in Cape Mount, and she supports the surfing community there and women empowerment. And on the other hand, we have Councilman Russell, who has been involved. In fact, they both have been involved in immigrant work. The only bill he said that was passed by Donald Trump was the LRIF bill that allowed Liberians to stay in the country, many in fact to stay in the United States.
To become citizens. Many of them are not becoming
yes.
citizens.
And by extension of that bill, that impacts the people in Liberia, because all of us, I can't even count any Liberian that I know that is in some way directly or indirectly connected to Liberians, you know, by way of supporting them, by way of speaking out for them, by way of doing something. So the fact that you give Liberians a second chance to correct the immigration situation impacted Liberians. So I want to thank both of you. Your work is not taken lightly at all. So and I have a question, but I will just go around a little bit. Sentimile George, I want to pass the circle back to you now.
Well, first of all, it's good again. I'm a witness to at least I saw you guys engagement in Liberia, Representative Riggs and Councilman Russell. We were all in Liberia together during the bicentennial, and especially when we met with the president, she was there too. And I saw at least she was involved, engaged in Liberia during her tenure, and also Councilman Russell with the city of Kagata. I know he's been doing a lot of work and making a lot of inroads in Liberia. So I'm happy at least you guys never forgot your birth of your country of nativity. You guys engaged during your time in office. But my question is, I know when you guys ran, you guys made setting plans or goals set that if you were elected, these are things you're going to accomplish. I just want to ask you whether you were able to accomplish what you said you were going to do when you were running for this office. For my Representative Ricks and then Councilman Russell. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for the question, Centomaling. Yeah, absolutely. When I ran, my whole deal was running for I'm a Democrat, and so I ran as a Democrat looking to expand the big tent. They always say that the Democrats are the big tent. But when I looked around my community, I did not see the diversity to reflect people like myself, my lived experience, the things that I have walked through in the state house. So bringing my knowledge, my skills, my abilities, being able to weigh in on policies that impact the state of Colorado. In Aurora, where I represent, or Arapahoe County, there's over 170 different languages that are spoken in the public schools. So we're extremely diverse. We have people from all over the world, Africa, Asia, everywhere. And we've taken in a lot of Afghan refugees. So it was important that we have voices. Colorado was ranked as like we've had a 400% increase from 2000 till now on the number of Black immigrants that are here. So when we say Black immigrants, we're looking at people from the Caribbean and then also African immigrants. So it's important for us to have representation. But I also am a small business person. So I wanted to ensure that small businesses had access to resources, that that people who didn't have access to power knew that they could have influence, that they had voices, and that I could carry those voices to the state capitol. And I think so far we've been able to do that. There's still a lot more to do, but I've done more than what I really thought. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, but it's been really hard. It's been a learning period. It's been hard, but it's been very rewarding. And I'm very honored to serve my community and, expecting to do more as we go back for a second term. So yes, I would say I think I've done more and even exceeded what I thought I could do.
Well, for me, I've been very actively involved in the community for a very long time. And it just came natural to me that we needed representation. So there were 47,000 Liberians in Minnesota, in the state of Minnesota. And we are the largest by far, bigger than Philadelphia, New Jersey, Rhode Island by far, the most recent census, right? But that's just 47,000 of us who were born in Liberia and migrated to America. So we're not even counting the kids. So we're not even counting the kids. So I'm not talking about, so we are a large population base here in Minnesota. So for me, it just came natural, like, hey, we needed representation. I became the first Black person ever elected in the city of Brooklyn Park, and Brooklyn Park is the fourth largest city in the metropolitan area. So for me, it was about providing representation. But one of the things I learned very quickly when I joined the council, when I was elected to the council, because there's a difference, and we see that playing out in Liberia for the most part, because there's a difference between advocating or being an advocate or being an activist and governing. So once, so I was an activist, I was a big, community advocate and, advocating, for a whole bunch of other things. But when you get there, and you get on the council and you start to govern and push policy through, it's a completely different thing. And I think, it's one of the things that I like to tell some of my folks out there who are running, there's a completely different thing. And so I learned very quickly to build bridges and build relationship, because I have only one vote. Okay, you have only one vote. So in order to get things passed, you need to build relationship. And as you all rightly know, the city councils, and I know we don't really have a deep appreciation for city council government or municipalities in Liberia. It's sad, but city council were just they were small government. They were a miniature version of the Congress or the national legislature as we have in Liberia. So all the different things we do the same thing, pass, but our bills are called ordinances, but they're the same thing. So I wanted to ensure that we have representation to support small businesses. So the community came to us, to the council, for example, and said that, look, we need places to incubate our businesses, to grow our businesses. So what did we do? So the city council voted to buy our entire strip mall, and we turned it over to the Liberian Business Association to run. It would not have happened, and it's not by accident that you have a Liberian represented on the council that have been able to build relationship with other council members and say, okay, you know what, we have a large community here. We need them to be supported, but it's not just Liberian. So I'm not just the Liberian city council member. I'm a city council member who is of Liberian descent and support the interests of all of these the other folks who live within the city and live within within my district. But so that's why inclusivity and representation, that's why those things are important. So for me, it was about pushing those things. We have pushed through. We have representation. The Liberian community, Tomalin George, spent $500 million into the local economy here, not into the state of Minnesota, not into Minneapolis, not into St. Paul. In Brooklyn Park, we spent $500 million into the economy here. We own homes, we own businesses, daycare, dry cleaning, and places, liquor store. I mean, you name it, we have it all. Okay, so this is the hub of the Liberian community in the state of Minnesota. Whether you live in St. Paul, or you live in Eden Prairie, or Plymouth, or Coon Rapids, you come to Brooklyn Park to shop. This is where we have to shop. So representation is critical. It's critically important, and I think we've been able to succeed by doing that, by ensuring representation. But representation that will then deliver the results to our folks. We've supported a lot of other causes and ensuring that our folks have the resources they need. I mean, during COVID-19, I pushed through policy to have one of the first testing centers in the state in Brooklyn Park, testing and giving vaccination. Many community organizations, including churches, got resources from us. We distributed over $4.4 million. And many small organizations and small community groups benefited from all of those resources. It is not by accident, bro. It's not by accident. It's because we have representation. So, I mean, there are a lot of things that, we've done because of us ensuring that, because many of us come here, we think, oh, I'm not interested in this. I'm going back home. But then 5 years, goes by and we're still here. 10 years goes by, we're still here. At the end of the day, we are here. This is our home as well. And we pay taxes here. We are developing this place. So we have to get the benefit from here. And so as we get the benefit from here, we are sending money back home. We are sending lots of remittances from Minnesota, from Brooklyn Park to Liberia to support our people back home.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Honorable Kev Hassan.
Yeah, how you guys doing, Nikita and Mr. Russell? How are you? Welcome to the show. This Nikita, you say you pushing 19 bills, right?
Yes.
How many of those bills passed, and how many of those bills were targeted to the Liberian community?
So all of my bills passed. So those are all the bills that went through, and I would say, I don't think any of my bills were PO'd. Well, maybe one, but that was it. And when you talk about the Liberian community, Kev, unlike Russell, I don't have a huge Liberian community. I have about 3,000 maybe people in our community that are spread out over Colorado. I don't know, maybe 5,000. So we have one of the smaller communities. Um, Everything that I did would impact a Liberian here, whether that's my immigration bills, or the teacher diversity bills to increase teacher diversity so that our kids are able to see people who look like them, can teach them. In our schools here, about 80% of the teachers are white females. So it's important that we get to see people that look like us, giving us lessons from the classroom. You spend a lot of your time in the classroom. And so diversity is very important. We also looked at why there was a disparity between why, Black teachers were not passing the exam as high as white teachers. And we have a stakeholder group that's looking into that. This past year, I passed a bill around doctors. There are a lot of foreign trained doctors that come into this country and they take odd jobs because they're not able to, get into the medical profession. So there's 2 programs that are going to help them maybe sit to take the exam, get them ready, like get their lab skills up so that they're able to apply for residency. I've done stuff around mental health, which would impact, our community. So everything I do impacts it. You see, it's not just, there's a Liberian bill. I represent everyone. I have over 90,000 constituents, and my constituents are about 20% Latino, maybe about 16% African American. I have Asians and, whites, of course. So I represent everyone. And the quality of life and making Colorado a good place for us to live impacts everyone, including the Liberians that live here.
Sure.
Wow.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
just gonna. I'm sorry, I just saw CFR Barkley. I believe he's also a guest here, but he just went off. So yes, I don't know if you want to direct your question now to Councilman Russell or
Yeah,
however way.
Madam, with you, I've seen and some of stuff we're in Liberia together, and I know that you're doing a lot of good things. So I wish you success in your coming election. But Mr. Russell, a lot of stuff, about the Liberian community and stuff that you want to stand to. But some stuff that you posted May 19, I want to talk about it. I don't know if James can put that up. I want you to talk about it and see, what you're saying about Liberia, and if your community do agree with you some of this stuff. I don't know if James can hear us. James, yeah, I don't know. I wanted to post it, but if James cannot hear. May 19, you said, despite being one of the wealthiest country on planet Earth, right? You said only 42% of the school in Liberia have access to basic drinking water service. Source WHO. Yeah, that's the thing. You say source WHO. And then you post a picture and that picture is not Liberia. The picture is deceiving. I want you to explain to people home and here a man who want to, who running to be a mayor in Brooklyn Park, right, representing Liberian people and misleading the public with a post. I want you to talk about it.
Mr. Hassan, the last time I was on your show, you brought this up again, and I addressed it. But if you have nothing of substance to ask me, you're going to bring that back again. I will address it again for you in the interest of maybe others who may not have understood the context. I'll stand by that, and it is very appalling that we have a situation where the country lacks the capacity the leadership to provide drinking water for all of its citizens. So that's something that we all know about, and I work and will continue to work to ensure that we can alleviate those sort of challenges, because there's no reason that we should be living in a situation like that. I managed an Ebola project in Southeast Liberia, and we have we had a 25 billion compound, and we were able to provide drinking water. We did a borehole that cost about $18,000, and we were able to pipe water to all of the buildings and all of the restrooms, and everywhere we had pipe-borne water. I've worked with local organizations in Liberia to try to provide water supply and other supplies to all Liberians. So that picture and the data that I provided. Now, the picture may not be. The picture is not from Liberia. You're right, but one of the things. Let me tell you something, Mr. Hassan, is that I'm not a practicing journalist, but but my first degree is in communication and journalism, right? So you can use a picture to help you illustrate a point. It doesn't necessarily mean that the picture or the image that you use is what you're talking about, what you're specifically talking about. So it's within that context that I use that picture, and that picture, that picture, I'm sure you can go all over Liberia and find examples of where kids are living, where folks are, and where schools. And I know this from experience, because during my Ebola work, trying to get schools back online, we visited and assessed many of the schools in Southeast Liberia, and those were the same conditions that we found. I work and I have pictures and other documented evidence I can send you all. Hold up now, hold up, to show you the work that I have done to try to ensure that schools and villages have pipe-borne water in Liberia. There's no excuse for why that is not the case. So I stand by that post, and I will repost it again if the conditions are not addressed. And so that's what I have to say about that.
Okay. As the moderator of this show, I would like for us to focus on some ways that we can support our fellow Liberians here who are running to be reelected. We'll have another show where people can.
Let me just finish.
At this point, I really would like to. I'll give you an opportunity, Kev. I just wanted to say at this point.
Just 30 seconds. I will not be long. Just 30 seconds. It's not a question. He wants to represent Liberians, and show some Liberians among his population there who have some support with going, because the government and some of the things that he have said, like want the government to be removed, Plan B, supporting massive protests. For me, I would say this. I support Nakito Race. I would support her. I would call for them. But for Mr. Russell, I would urge people to not vote for him. I would not support that. They shouldn't vote for him.
Okay, thank you.
I would say. I would not support this. And I'll make sure I will campaign again.
Have you expressed yourself already? Thank you so much for your view. So my question to you, State Representative Nakita Ricks, and also Councilman Winfred Russell, can you just tell us how Liberians can support you right now? I like to really focus on that, because I know what it's like. I work in a dual system where I come home, I'm a Liberian, and then when I go out, I find myself being the only person that looks like me sometimes, or the only person that can present views that are different. So I know what it's like for both of you to be in this kind of, and many Liberians find themselves to be in this dual role, but yet and still you are proposing inspiring views that affect, many, not only Liberians, but the world, to make the world a better place. So I want us to just focus the last couple of minutes on the kind of help that Liberians can give to re-elect you to continue to do this excellent job that you guys both are doing. So either one of you guys can start.
And thank you so much, Dr. Francine. Yes, we don't do elections without money. It takes money for us to run campaigns. Right now, the ballots are going to be mailed out in Colorado on the 17th, and we will have 3 weeks to get them in. Colorado does a very extensive mail-in ballot situation, and people can also go and actually cast their votes. So I need to still get my message out through digital ads, through mailers that are going to come to people's doors, through phone calls, text messages. And so I need support. Fundraising helps. To donate to my campaign, you can go to Ricks, my last name, RICKS, the number 4, CO for Colorado. So it's Ricks4CO.com. Yeah. So it's Ricks4CO.com, and you can donate right there online. If you have people in Colorado and if they're in my district, they might be able to vote for me. But mainly, I think it would be funds from people who are not local or who can't vote for me, and that helps a lot.
Thank you so much. Welcome, Stanton. I'm going to circle back to you. I'll just give Councilman Winfred Russell to please answer the question. Again, what can you tell Liberians that are in Brooklyn Park or in nearby cities that in terms of ways that they can support you and other inspirational Liberians?
Thank you. But before I go there, let me address Mr. Hassan and the negativity that he's trying to spew out here and trying to politicize.
I don't think that might be a good idea right now. Let's stay positive, please.
Okay. No. Yeah. Okay. No. But okay. I'll stay positive. We'll be positive.
Okay. But we're positive to take this show a different way that we don't.
Okay.
Want
all right. Okay. All right. But okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. I hear you out, and we will address that at all times. But I also wanted to provide some information to folks so folks know. The city mayor of Monrovia, Jefferson Kuji, came to Minnesota, the Brooklyn Park. He secured a meeting with us, brought him at the city hall. We had a very robust conversation about how we can support the city of Monrovia. Working with him, took him to a waste treatment plant, took him to some of the parks. In fact, before COVID really hit, Jefferson Kojin and I have been in direct communication, working with him about trying to build some parks in Monrovia. And I think the last time I was on your show, I talked to you all about that. I mentioned that, and I even challenged the Spoon team to build a park in Liberia called Spoon Park or something like that. Mayor Koji and I have been working on this. I've been discussing this and looking at our solar farm. The city of Brooklyn Park has the largest solar farm in the state of Minnesota. So you're passing on some of those technical assistance to Monrovia as well, and Minister McGill when he was former Minister McGill when he was minister, we had conversation about the vaccine that we XX vaccine that we gave to them, that they allocated. Because I coordinate a statewide vaccine program here in the state of Minnesota, COVID-19 vaccine. So we work very closely with them. So I just wanted that information so folks get that information and not be and not listen to junk news and fake news and all of that. But because we work very closely with our government to ensure that our people are well taken care of. But when we see ills and we see problems, we have to call it out as policymakers and as Liberians too as well. And I stand by everything that I've done, because I'm very calculated and methodical about what I do. I make no apologies for what I've written and what I have said. But I've worked very closely with the government officials to try to do a lot of things with BWI, to try to move BWI from a 2-year or from a technical vocational school into a 2-year technical college. These are plans that we've been working with the Minister of Education and all of that. So those are part of my record. So let your audience know that and understand where we come from and what we'll continue to do. Now, as far as our campaign is concerned, yes, as the Representative Ricks said, it's a very expensive enterprise. And I know thanks to you all during the primary, you all handsomely supported our campaign, and I do appreciate that. We won our primary, so now we're going to the general election. It still require a lot of money to send our mailers out there, to send all of our information out there. Is very expensive. So my Cash App number for people who would like to make a donation to our campaign, my Cash App number is 612-283-1859. 612-283-1859. My website for my campaign website is Winfred. As my name is on the screen, but for those of you who are listening to us on the radio, Winfred is spelled WYNFRED. So it's winfred.org. It's just that simple. So winfred.org. You can go there and learn a lot about my views, my values, and about the issues that I push. And you can also donate to the campaign to help to get our messages out. We stand a very good chance. I mean, this is an opportunity for the community to make history, but also to have someone there who have been fighting for them. That's why we have the support and the endorsement of the current mayor who is retiring. She reached out to Liberians and Liberian leaders across the country and said, look, I'm retiring, but I would like to be replaced by a West African. So we have the support of the Nigerian community, of the Guinean community, of the African American community, of the white community, of the Asian community. We also have the support of the former mayor, who is now the commissioner. I think I've sent some of you these videos just to share them, and we have the support of 5 of the 7 city council members. So we're asking for the support of all of our Liberians and others who are in Brooklyn Park. Vote Russell for mayor of Brooklyn Park. You're mute, Dr. Richardson.
I'm so sorry. I thank you so much, Stanton. I want to circle back to you. I see that CFR Barkley has been struggling to join us. I don't know where he is joining us, but Stanton, I'd like to circle back to you before we give our guests some closing words, the opportunity to close.
Thank you very much. I want to say thanks to Representative Nakia and our own brother, Winfred Russell. We want to say you guys are welcome. So, I understand Mr. Barkley trying hard, but his internet is not serving him right. He was driving. I hope we can connect to hear a few words from him. But I want to say, I wish you guys luck. With God above, I know you're going to make it. I understand you guys been doing a great work on behalf of Liberians. I will encourage every Liberian, especially for my fellow Liberians, that we need you guys. No subtraction. It should be all addition. We support you guys. We are Liberian first. You say what you want to say. Once you are Liberian, you got my 125% support. I will encourage every Liberian listening to us, and those non-Liberian, but yet you follow Spoon. We want to say this is our team. Representative Riggs, Mr. Russell, Barkley, this is our team. We will champion for you guys. We will support you guys. Go for it, win it, because if you help one Liberian, you help all Liberians. Forget about our politics in Liberia. Forget about CDC or opposition. We are talking about Liberia. We have gone through a lot in this country because we know our story. Entered America just as a visitor. They gave you that 3 months visa. When you arrive at the airport at the time, they gave you another 3 months, 6 months. You got to hustle your way. We never came here with green card. We never came here with immigration record. We came here and we hustled. I remember to just walk to the convenience store and buy a $5 calling card at a time. You used to get a $5 calling card to call back home. It was rough.
Yes.
So to see someone like Russell, to see someone like McQueen, to see you guys pushing, if you help one, you help thousands of Liberians back home. I would beg every Liberian within your district. I beg every Liberian within your city, within your state. Forget our back home politics. It's about time we elevate our own. Through you, we can have that breakthrough. We believe in each other. Don't say because he's not a sedition or he's not from ANC or UP. Forget it. We are Liberians. So I'm speaking to my brothers and sisters in Brooklyn Park. I'm speaking to my brothers and sisters in Colorado. Go for it. Encourage the non-Liberians. Tell them we are people of values. We are people of substance. We would make it if they gave you guys the chance. If we have the opportunity, we'll be in Brooklyn Park. We'll be in Colorado. We'll be with our brother Safua. Mr. Barclay. We will be with them to support them, to take them to the next level, because this is who we are.
But we invited you all, and I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to you all coming here.
If I tell you my problem right now, Florida have a hurricane. Hurricane. We gotta be there. I'm very, very busy, but I'll tell you this.
We don't have any more problem than we do.
When is early voting? When is early voting?
Early voting started on the 23rd. It started already. We have 1 more month to go, Stanton. Representative Ricks has been here. She been campaigning for us on the ground. She's been here already.
This is what we do right now. I can tell you that Peabody and St. Thomas and George will be there to go door to door with you guys.
Yeah,
Nice.
We need the full team.
Oh.
No. We need the full team.
Okay,
we need the full. Let me just quickly.
Let me ask you on the show, Winfrey. Let me ask you: is it snowing in your state?
No, it's not. It's not. But she was just here. She was here this weekend.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet. So get there before it starts to snow.
That news is snowing, man.
No. You are into
the pig everything booga 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 booga.
No. Man, this is the largest concentration of Liberians in the United States. You are a Liberian, you're a promoter of all of Liberian interests. Your brother Custer has been here so many times, door knocking, doing all of that sort of stuff. Let me tell you something. There's so many businesses.
Winfrey, let me say this to you. We are giving you our word on this public forum. We will be there by God's grace. I will speak to my wife. I will convince my brother Kev Hassan. I will speak to the team.
I'm not going to be there.
Okay, all right. Kev said he will not be there, but I will speak to the team. Don't worry about it. That Kev, listen, we keep it real on the show. I know I will be there with those that will make the stuff available once I get it okay from my wife. I must assure you.
That's fair.
I must get her blessing first. Seriously.
No, that's fair. But let me just tell you something quickly. Let me tell you something quickly. Why this is important, right?
Yeah.
There's nowhere in the country, Stanton and Dr. Richardson and Kev and Tomlin, where you have full Liberian immigrants.
That's true.
Running for public office.
Wow.
They're not running against each other. They're in 4 different areas and they're running. It is significant. You have Brother Barclay in a city called Roseville. He's running for city council. All 4 of us won our primaries.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a Liberian mayor in Brooklyn Center, Michael Elliott. Mike Elliott is running for re-election as mayor of Brooklyn Center, where Dante Wright was killed. There's a Liberian there who's the mayor. The city there has a sister city relationship with Vonjaman. Then you have Dr. Se Guano, who just passed away. His daughter is running in Brooklyn Center for city council. And yours truly, Winfred Russell, is running for mayor in Brooklyn Park. So you have 4 in the metro running. So that is significant. So for those of you who support Liberian causes, they have been here already. You know, Tiawan Gonglo Kima, he don't knock with us. Representative Rick Schema, don't knock with us. Senator Dillon have been here, don't knock with us. You know, all of these folks, Henry Custer have been here, he don't knock with us. Mariah Yokola been here, don't knock with us. You know, all of these folks. Only Spoon team has not been here. That is not right. I mean, you know, I mean, the biggest platform. I mean, come on. I mean,
Russell, listen. I'll say this to you. I'll say this to you. You put us on the spot, we'll make the enemy stream. We will be there.
Okay.
We'll be there.
You,
okay.
You guys gotta help Cal. You guys gotta help Cal. She is a young Liberian woman running for city council. I got to meet her this past weekend.
Yeah, Cal,
amazing, and that's gonna be great. She's gonna make history there, you know. And so we want to do that.
No, we will definitely. I believe that I would just do my best to convince my family to be there. Dr. Richard Saints and Tomorrow and Josh, the rest of the team, even Kev Hassan is speaking. We all will be there by God's grace.
Benjamin Sandy too as well.
Benjamin Sandy is coming. Once we see the team, they include every one of us.
Okay.
So this is what we're going to do. We'll bring our T-shirts. We will set the date. Probably will be on a weekend by God's grace. We'll bring a lot of Spoon T-shirts and we'll help you guys to knock those. To tell the folks, we'll do our show from there. And we'll tell the folks that
I hope you fit though, because it's not an easy task. I hope you fit, you know.
No, we
bring your tennis shoes.
We have only one handicap among us, but we're not call that person name.
We had 10,000 doors to knock, Stanton.
We will try our best, and we'll do our best. We'll open our network to everyone. Give us your Cash App information. Give us your phone numbers. Give us any information you can give us that we can share this. Listen, you guys must win. You have to win. You have to win. It's no joke. We have seen other community, other West African country, other country in Africa as a whole.
They have a Somali at the Congress. We have a Somali at the Congress from Minnesota.
You guys must wait. Let's hear from Mr. Barkley because we have to wrap. Mr. Barkley, at last, free at last, you on. Thank God for that. Talk to us. What's up?
We can't hear you.
Your volume.
No, you are mute.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Oh boy.
It looks like he's struggling to come on. So in the meantime,
right. So it looked like this is what we're going to do. If you guys willing, we can have another show. I would definitely think it will be necessary as we move closer to the election. But we will set a time. Dr. Richardson will speak to you, you and Representative Riggs, that we all can gather and do that barbecue on a Saturday to bring folks to play music and to encourage people that this is who we are. We are all Liberians. So let's work it out. Let's see who's gonna bring the barbecue, and let's see who will bring the crowd from different communities.
We'll bring the crowd, right? Okay.
Yeah, we will.
Okay, we'll see.
I mean, we will. We will ride it together and make this thing happen. I'm proud of you guys, man. This is who we are. We must appreciate our own. And like Timothy said, Representative Riggs, we said thank you. We met when we were meeting the president. You were in that meeting. And I think that you have done extremely well for Liberians. Russell, you have gone above and beyond. We didn't forget yet. After election will be the best time to talk about the Spoon Park because I don't want to get into something at this time. But let's wish our country well. We know the situation on the ground, the rest situation. Imagine folks will be knocking your door. My family in Liberia, they don't have a back.
And that's what happens.
What can we do?
Yeah.
So let's just pray and let's just keep the country on our mind to have a better Liberia and to have a better leadership here in America that will help our fellow Liberians. If you went through what I went through, you will appreciate every Liberian that running in this election. If you went through what some of us went through, Tumani can tell you on the show. Listen to Tumani's story. You know, he got to hide himself like me. We got to go undercover, work under the table till God gave us a blessing. So we have to support you guys. It's a must that we support you guys. Because once you guys up there, you will advocate for the next generation. And we say thank you a lot, guys. Let's try Mr. Barkley again. Let's see if he can. Mr.
Hello.
Barkley,
Yeah.
talk to us, sir. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm sorry for the interruption. You know, it's been a little, challenging time. I just came back from, from door knocking back. Again, I say thank you so much, Spoon TV, and the entire management of Spoon TV. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It's a pleasure having me on this, the platform. And I want to thank, Councilman Russell, who been there for me too as well. Thank you so much for the promotion and for the concern. I'm so happy to be part of this forum and seeing my fellow Liberians, standing by us for the Twin City. I'm so overwhelmed. Thank you so much again.
We're looking forward to seeing you, sir. We will be in there. I've never been to Minnesota. I pray to get there when there's no snow. I have to do that hurriedly. But we're looking forward to see you guys. And by God's grace, we'll invite everyone that watches Spoon, everyone that loves Spoon, all of our followers. We will give you the date, the time. We will be there, and we will celebrate to elevate our own. This is upon us. We have to achieve this, and we have to move these guys forward. Forget what you have in mind. We cannot put non-Liberian on that position. No way, we cannot. How can you just forget your own brother? I said, because he ate a cassava, he didn't leave some for me. We should pass that. We cannot. We must push them. We must push them. We will push them. We will announce the date, the time. We will spend enough time in Minnesota and make sure that our own win this battle by the grace of God. Thank you.
And depending on when you all come, I will invite you all to be my guests at the city council and meet with our city mayor and our police chief and the fire chief. I will do the whole rollout for you guys, and the same presentation that we gave all of the big political leaders who come through here. If you guys want, we'll give you the full rollout of all of the fire chief, the police chief. They take you to our solar panel, our solar station, our solar farm. Take you whatever. So you just let me know.
What's the population of Liberia in your city?
Oh, you didn't hear all of this stuff. So we have 15,000 Liberians in the city of Brooklyn Park. There's nowhere in the United States of America where you have this amount of Liberians concentrated in one area. We have businesses. Yes. Oh yes. And so this is it. Liberians spend $500 million in Brooklyn Park, not in the state of Minnesota though, in Brooklyn Park. There's a Togolese business.
Do you know Tanji? I think she can cook food around Minnesota area.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, but get her to cook for us. We can't keep that place on.
You know how many?
Let's try this thing about get Tanji. Let Tanji cook for us, right?
Do you know how many restaurants we have here in Stanton? Are you kidding me?
Bring that JK back. Let me do it in the library.
My man, forget it.
Yeah,
forget it.
We just thank you guys. Thank you very much for showing up.
I just like to add, State Representative Akita Ray, thank you so much. I'm just going to do some girl powering right now. You are such an inspirational woman. You're breaking glass ceiling. There's a young girl in Liberia who is listening to you in the United States who is emulating your behavior right now. So please do not take it lightly. We really appreciate you, and I wish you all the best. And those of you who want to support it, in fact, all Liberians, as Stanton said, we're calling all Liberians to support our own. Forget about all the different issues. We've got to support our own. Send them money. The state representative told you how to support her. They need money to run the campaign. Councilman Russell, who's running to in Brooklyn Park there, told us his 612-283-1859, right? 612-283-1859.
Yeah, that's
And of
Cash
course,
App and Zelle. That's Cash
yes,
App and Zelle.
yes, please support them and we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I think also, Dr.
I just
Richardson,
want to
real
say,
quick. I know representatives coming in. Can you guys send your flyer again, your individual flyer, campaign
okay,
flyer with your
yeah,
information? We will
yes.
roll this every week till the election is over. Also, we'll do that. We're gonna roll it on every show. Take a break and just roll this thing every week. Let folks understand that we mean business. Go ahead, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you guys so much. Who governs matters, right? And so it's important that, especially where we have places where we have the numbers, but even when we don't have the numbers, it's still possible for Liberians, people like us who have walked through, so many things, whether it's a military coup or the war or whatever was going on in Liberia, to govern and to come here and represent not only Liberians, but represents Americans, because we are Americans. And so I think it does matter. And there might be some states where people are not running, and you do have the masses like Philadelphia and the Washington, D.C. area. If people are interested, I know that Russell, myself, Wilma Collins, and others have talked about doing trainings, political training, so we can get people ready to be able to do a stump speech,
Exactly.
to be able to get out there and say, hey, I want to start getting involved. I want to run. And you have a right to run. Your taxpayers, your people who are contributing to the American society, you have ideas, you have skills, knowledge, abilities that you can bring to the table. So it's important that you can get out there and also represent your community and go for causes that are important to you. So we are open to that, and we're going to keep working on that. Once we get through this election season next year, maybe we'll start doing some stuff. I know people in Texas are even asking me, people from the Kenyan community. So I know that we need to put that together because it's important. People just want to do it, but they're scared. I mean, it takes a lot of guts, because when you step out here, you might lose. I mean, it took me 7 years. I lost 2 times, and then on the 3rd try, I won. So you have to get out here and you have to be bold. You have to know that, hey, no matter what, this cause is worth it. And it doesn't matter if I win or lose, but hey, you might win. So I just thank everybody. I'm going to send you guys my link for my website and for donating. And I really appreciate your support. And then I just want to tell the CEO that you contributed to that medical cost that we're doing for COVID.
Yeah.
And you did a big support
You,
for
got,
us.
you're going to say that again. I thought we did it quietly.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna still give you your props. Thank you so much for
You're
helping us.
welcome.
During that, we were able to bring over $1 million worth of supplies, masks, beds, hospital beds, and so many different things to Liberia last year, the end of last year. So thank you for your support and everyone that supported us. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. Mr. Barkley?
Yes, sir.
And then final word for us?
Well, once again, I want to say thank you again for everything. As Councilman Russell said, I live in Roseville here. That is predominantly, white people. About 75% of the population in Roseville is white. And but what I'm saying is that I'm so happy that I have this platform, and I'm so happy to be here, to step forward, running for the city council. Currently, what I am right now in Roseville, I serve on the city finance commission. So I've been with the city for the past 3 years, serving as and on the city finance commission. But one thing I want to say is that that really catches my heart is that seeing Liberians at this point in time, stepping forward, into public service is a great opportunity, and I think we all need to support each other. I'm ready to go out there to do donating for Councilman Russell. I've been knowing Councilman Russell for a long time in Minnesota. He's a very awesome person. So coming together and also use this platform, to just bring up, to just bring us on this platform to be part of this discussion, it means a whole lot. And as an individual, as a Liberian, moreover, living in the city of Roseville, that's highly populated with white people. I don't want to be racist, but it's predominantly just white people. Even on the council, they have just white people, Caucasian people. So when the opportunity came over, the city mayor called me and told me that you got to do this, Barkley, because you've been with the city for a long time, and I stepped forward. And I want to, acknowledge a lot of Liberians out there, to just take that faith and to just step forward and do something, because it's the fear that keeps us away from doing things. I think we can do greater things in the city or in the state of Minnesota. So I want to thank you again for just giving me the time and just giving me the platform. My website is www.cfrbarclay.com, and my cash app is dollar and CFR number 4 for council, for city council. That's my cash app. So if you go on my website, you see my goals, you see what I've been doing in the city of Roseville, and my accomplishment. I've been working with the city for a long time, so I know the in and out of the Roseville city where I live right now. So I'm so happy for for the time that I have to be on the platform. But once again, thank you, and then we have to support one another. My name is Siafa. It's a typical Liberian name, so you don't have to mix with Siafa Barclay. So that's just common. But when I just came back from door knocking, I went to meet a lot of people in Roseville, just door knocking with my little girl, and I'm so happy that I have the opportunity to meet people from different walks of life. Roseville is a small city, but it has about 37,000 population. And that number, 32% of that number is mixed cultures. So we are working with on that. So if you go on my platform, on my website.
Oh boy. All right. So that's Mr. Barclay. I know we'll be meeting him once we get there. This is Russell for Mayor, the fundraiser networking. Milton Massaquoi, one got to read, Mike Borrow. Please, you have this information. We will ask Representative Riggs to send her information, Mr. Barclay to send his as well. These flyers are important. Your phone numbers, your cash app information, everything. We want it on the flyer, and we're going to roll this till the election is over. Please send us those flyers that we can. If you have a video clip, send it to us. We're going to roll it as well. We want to say this is very, very important. Every one of you, I think you guys are your 5, right? Russell, please reach to the rest of the guys. Let them send us the information that we can.
Yeah, we have one in, but he is running he's running a race uncontested. He's in Rhode Island. His name is Nathan Bia. So in total, there are 6 of us. Representative Riggs in Colorado, Representative Nathan Bia in Rhode Island. He's running for re-election, and then there were 4 in Minneapolis, in the Minneapolis metro area.
Right. Okay.
So there were 6 of us.
6 like
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Immigrants. So it's a huge inspiration for, like Dr. Richardson said and Representative Rick said. I mean, there were so many folks. I mean, the guy who was in Brooklyn Center, for example, Mayor Elliott, he got his inspiration because when I ran first, I lost one of my races. I lost by 5 votes, and he was inspired by that. That's how he ran. And like Brother Barclay had just said, he's been follow me over the years, and that's what it's about, guys. We even though we are here, but we a lot of folks in Liberia and other places are looking up to us, and when we saw what Mayor Collins did in Montana, that was a huge inspiration for for a lot of us. So I do appreciate the support. Stanton and Dr. Richardson, Tomalin George, Mr. Hassan, and my brother Benjamin Sandy, who's not here at the moment.
Peabody.
And Dr. Peabody. Yep, Dr. Peabody, for sure. So I really do appreciate the opportunity, and trust me, I think this little diversion was necessary. I mean, that we know we'll have a lot of challenges, but this too is also important to give people sort of a little diversion for all of the other issues and the heartache that we're having, back home and all of that. But we all are in prayers. We all are supporting what's going on, there to ensure that our people have food. I mean, shipping food, shipping medical supplies. Senator Dillon was just here. The senator from Pathological, whatever his name is, from Grand Crew. I just met with him, earlier. We're meeting with all of these folks coming in and going out, and we're providing, support and services as best as we can to ensure that our people are well taken care of. So it's not just about us. We are just a vessel to ensure that we have access to power and resources in this country.
And Chairman Assembly wanted to announce to you that he will be in Minnesota to help you knock those. Chairman Benjamin Assembly.
Don't really announce that. Chairman Semi saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna start the show. I got to bring in the Kia Riggs." And now he's not here.
Yeah,
I know, right? I know. Yeah, you did tell me that.
I just
Yeah,
said
I'm coming. No. You fighting everybody today, and he got caught up doing his fatherly duties, so that's a good thing. Yeah, he got those little ones that giving him hell. So, but again, we yeah. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I wanted to add that I just sent James Good Day, State Senator Nikita Riggs information. So I don't know if he wanted to post that up for us to see it. I also sent that to you as well, Stanton.
Okay.
Just to, well, I know you said we'll be running it during different shows, but just to acknowledge that we have it, State Representative. We
do. I'm putting it up right now. We just got to go through the. I am putting it up right now, Dr. Richardson. We do. We have it. Let me put it up. Representative Nakia, you want to say something? You want to close or something?
Sure. And again, thank you so much. Wow, there's a lot to say, and a lot has been said already. So I just want to say that we are concerned about what's going on in Liberia. Of course, I have relatives there, and we want to make sure that people have what they need to live a good life. And so we're praying for the situation, and we're hoping that things will that we'll have something substantial soon. And we all need to just kind of collectively work together to help make the country better. So that's basically, the role that we play. And we do have access to resources here. If we were not in elected positions that we would not have access to. So we're trying to use that to leverage it and make Liberia better and see what we can do for everyone. As we're building communities here, we can build communities there. So, and we just continue to pray. So I thank you all again for this opportunity to be on Spoon, and look forward to a good election. We have less than 30 days now before it all goes down. So
definitely. Well, we will be there. We will be there before the 30 days over. I believe by God's grace we'll be there in the next few weeks. Again, I'm getting folks that know me from Minnesota. They are saying that they are texting me right now saying that they can't wait. They can't wait to see us. They will be seeing us. Who are we waving to?
Well, I just wanted to introduce Adrian to you all. One of my chief strategists, one of my better half. So so you all can get to meet her.
I didn't understand you, Winfrey. Help me.
What do you mean? I speak English, and you understand me?
We want to say welcome to our sister, and we appreciate all your help given to our brother. We just can't wait for this election to be over, that he can fight more for Liberians, that the entire, all 6 of them can fight more for Liberia. We appreciate all your help. We will be meeting you pretty soon by God's grace. Once given the green light, Dr. Richardson got to talk to Mr. Richardson. Santuan and George got to talk to his better half. Kev Hassan, Ben Sevi have already spoken to his wife. I have to do the same. But we trust in the Lord that we will be in Minnesota. We will shake Minnesota up. We'll bring everyone out, all the Liberians out. And guess what? I'm going to push Reverend Mountain. You guys know Reverend Mountain, right? Charles Lever Mountain. We're going to be bringing him. You know, when the MC is crazy, it's wild. We have to bring Reverend Martin as well.
He's
We're
a
going to
great
bring
man.
everybody.
Reverend Charles Lever Martin.
Yes.
He's a great man.
You know what? Find a hall. Let's have a big evening program. And Reverend Martin going to MC it.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Come on, let's shake that place, man. We know how to make it happen. Come on, I want to say thank you, guys. We appreciate you.
Thank you
Thanks
so
a
much.
lot.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, you guys too. Bye-bye.
That was beautiful. Dr. Richardson, thank you a lot. We said thanks. That was a good program. And now I'm all worked out to be in Minnesota. Wow. Jody, I know Lau gonna give me the pass to go, but I just can't take it very much with us. You're gonna blow that state up, man.
Oh, yeah, the Reverend Charles Levi Martin.
And you know who? Actually, you know who should come along too? Our own brother, Pastor Raymond.
Oh yeah, oh,
yeah. Pastor Raymond should come along.
Pastor
I
Raymond
want to bring the entire team. I want to ask everybody to come along. We got to push, man. We got to make this.
Yeah, man. It'll be a historical time.
I got a lot of friends in Minnesota. I do, you know, and Spoon got to be fully represented. We got to see outside knocking on the door. I'm here asking you to please vote for our brother. Damn, that would be good. That would be so nice. But guys, want to say thanks to all of our followers. We will be in Minnesota. By God's grace, we will be there as a team, knocking on doors and asking you to vote for your fellow Liberian. Trust me, it's not about Liberia politics. It's about the fact that they are Liberians. You want to leave them to vote for non-Liberian? Are you kidding me? You want to leave them because you say they are not this? No. We're going to vote for them. We will ask you to vote for them. We'll visit the churches. We'll visit the community. All the African stores will tell them, once you're Liberian, you're always a Liberian. We have to do this. I want to visit all the African stores. I want you guys to cook. Bring their jacket, the money calama, the pepper color on that day. Yeah, come on, man. Let's talk Liberian.
They're going CO 101.
No, seriously. Bring the money calabar. Their jacket, the pepper color. Tell Tanji to can't cook. Tanji can be saying for a riot. We were stunned, Minnesota. I know she will meet me on Facebook. I have my friends in Minnesota. I have a lot of them in Minnesota. Jefferson Dennis. I have Ralph Payne. I have a lot of family that I know in Minnesota. We want to bring them. We're gonna have the big program, and we're gonna make Minnesota go crazy because we have to elect our own. We want to say thank you guys for joining us. Let's have fun. Let's make it happen. All right. I want to say thank you to them. So let's move on to the national issue, Liberia politics. Rest. Let's talk about this. Huh?
You got rest now?
From where? And you took a shit to Liberia, bro?
Oh.
From where? I want to hear you saying something. Where we got the rest from?
Oh.
Huh? No, seriously.
Okay,
where we got the rest from?
Let me see.
Central George, am I missing something? Rest from where? There's no rest in the country yet. And the young man that lied to us last night, the public relation officer, it will surprise you, Dr. Richardson. He got suspended today.
I was looking for firing.
No, you know they got to do the indefinite suspension. We're going to read his suspension letter. The young man that came and said, put people behind me. Uncle Pete, he said, put people behind me, like go to Freeport. That's what he said, Uncle Pete. He said, put them behind me, like go to Freeport. There's a ship at the port, and he was lying. A bold-faced lie. I woke up 5 of my guys and say, yo, go behind him. And let me play this thing for you to see him. And he lied continuously. And that's painful, you know. And when he got to the port, he had a press conference. Listen.
Red-handed selling the rice for 5,000 to discourage the act, which is price hacking. That individual was apprehended.
So he took us to the port to tell us the story that somebody's selling rice. So, Liberian, this guy took us to the free port. And he telling us something we already know. 5 of my staff in Liberia, they were off. They were home. We heard that front page newspaper, auto network went alone. They asked him where the ship. And when they asked him where the ship, he ended up showing us the same old ship that we saw before. Tomorrow, George, he showed us the same ship.
It was sad, man. Malcolm Scott been a PRO guy for a long time. He's a professional journalist, but I was surprised last night when I listened to him saying that he put his career on the line and that he was not lying, and to the effect that our guys went there and it turned out to be wrong information. He was misleading the Liberian people. That was just unfair to us, and he tried to put our platform down because people started to question us. But I'm happy that we were able to expose him, that he lied, and the MPA management took an action this morning, which I think I welcome it, and I hope that he will learn from it and others will learn from
Georgie,
it.
as of now, as we're speaking, right? Because I got people in the put right now. I'm speaking to you right now. Beautiful. That's nice. I'm speaking to you right now. I must tell you, Georgie, you have 2 fishing boats at the port and the same barricade. 2 fishing boats and the same barricade. Right now. There's nothing. I just received the information. I received the pictures again. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, the information coming to me. There is no new vessel at the port. Why are we so wicked to our own? And he got a mind to say, I'm going to go to the Spoon Network compound. Bring your crew. Let's go to the port. I'm waking folks up, and they went to the port.
It's pathological. You know,
and the man telling us, say, if no new vessel at that place, kill me. I said, no,
Yes.
we're not in the business to do that. But I heard today, though, that he was told by somebody of the high heart, say, vessel at the port, carry them there. And Michael, no, I talked to him. I said, Michael, don't do this to yourself. I told him. I said, I will make the guys available. They will follow you. And he went and he showed us the same old shit.
I was sad.
The same old shit. And, you know, that is sorrowful that Richardson talked to us.
You know, this is sad to the point of disbelief that you have someone who does not only believe in their own eyes or their own reality, that they would believe somebody else's thought, something somebody would tell them, they would rather believe that, knowing that, you know, the reality is there was no rice at the airport. We call these people pathological liars. These people feel like they have to lie to please other people, or they have to be compulsive in their lying. Sometimes they have their reality is just not the same reality that we have. And this is scary because this man have served as a PRO. I cannot imagine if we went back and checked some of his documentation, how he might have lied on those documentation for such an important entity in Liberia. So it bothers me, you know, to just have such a person. I listened to that man on the phone. Stanton, he was telling you, I'm going to come to Spoon. He said, bring your guys. I'm going to drive with them. And I'm like, you didn't force this man to even come to Spoon. And he'd been calling radio station. He had called another radio station earlier and also called Spoon TV. In fact, I remember the phone hung up. He called you back, or either I think you called him back. But you would think somebody with conscience would say, oh my goodness, let me stay away. The phone hung up and you would take that as your exit. No, he was insistent.
Dr. Richard said, the only thing there is a fishing vessel. Fishing. The people go fishing. There's no rest vessel. One of the old Moroccan is there. I heard folks saying that Sir Joseph said he brought in rest and he was on OKFM. That's a bloody lie.
Oh.
I spoke to Sir Joseph. He didn't say he bring in. There was no rest. He didn't say, oh, I brought in rest. No. Sir Joseph is confirming the old vessel that been there for 40 days. Got a little bit of rest in it. Sir Joseph is saying the vessel is still there, a little bit of rest is there. And I just came to confirm. He didn't say the new, listen, this rest thing in Liberia getting serious by the minute. And the government, it's about time that it step up. If Mawani D's is being a problem, all the information we are gathering on Mawani D's, why the president can take action? The president said, if you cannot provide rest as a commerce minister, then you are not doing your job and I will fire you. It's on tape. We'll play this clip. The president need to fire Mawani D's. The president need to let her go. Now we're begging Sierra Leone to give us rest? Why are we begging Sierra Leone to give Liberia rest? Are we serious? Today is what? The 5th. Today is Wednesday.
The 4th.
The 5th.
The 5th?
Yeah, today is the 5th.
Oh, really?
Today is Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, Wednesday, yeah.
Why are we staying in this mess? We begging for calm, but the government is wasting the people time. The public relation officer lied. And when we woke up today, there's the letter. I will put the letter of suspension up for you guys to see.
But you know, on a serious
But let's
note,
hear from Kev. Let's hear from Kev real quick, and I'll pull up the letter of suspension. Kefiko.
Yeah, I think the mistake that Mr. Malcolm did, the ship that were packed that we saw yesterday, uh, they there was some rice in that ship. That's the rice that was unloaded that you saw today. Sir Joseph was showing. That rice was in that ship, but it's not a new ship. It's not a new rice. That rice was there. It's part of the rice that I said the last time, the 30,000, 30 something thousand. That's part of it. But because of the rain, it stopped the crew from unloading that rice. So I think that part of his mistake. So, but that ship that we're packing, yes, rice was on that ship. That's the rice you saw today at the port when Sir Joseph were in front of the rice. But that's not the rice of Sir Joseph. That's not Sir Joseph. No, brought no rice to Liberia. But that rice was on that ship. That ship that he showed, there was rice on that ship. But what he said, it was a new ship, came in with rice. No, it was the remainder of the rice that was on that ship. It was stopped because.
Kev, I beg you, I don't let it interrupt you, but I will do it today. He didn't make no mistake. He lied.
I think
he's a criminal.
Yeah.
Kev, your brother is a criminal. That's not a mistake. He's a liar. For you to come on national network and tell us, Kev, this man, he was splintered to make us look like we are liar. Not credible.
But you know, if no heads roll for this thing, because this rights issue is putting this, have embarrassed this government.
Listen to me, George. Let me tell you something, and
no
I'll
heads
say
roll,
this.
then I
agree with you. I agree with you.
Heads gotta roll.
The reason why President George Manuel Weah is still silent, the Liberian people want to know. It's something deeper. The reason why this president will remain silent is getting to a place that we can call wickedness. We're not stupid, man. If rice is not in the country by this week, the president must speak to the nation and tell the nation why he stays silent. If rice is not in Liberia, the quantity for people to be able to buy rice, $14, $15, like they promised, $13, the president owe it to the Liberian people.
I agree. You have to speak.
Enough is enough. As much as we call for calm, as much as this network begged that there should be no protests, the president owe it to the Liberians, every one of us. Why is he so quiet? Why is Manwani D so quiet? She has said on paper that she received 14 million United States dollars. Why are they playing games? And when a public relation officer speak, guess what happened? James, what's that suspension letter, James? When a public relation officer speak,
to take some action.
Then they suspended him, time indefinite. James, what's the letter?
But he shouldn't be the only one who has to roll. Others has to roll. Those responsible.
This is his suspension letter. This is it, guys. This is the letter we received from the National Port Authority suspending him. This is the letter from the National Port Authority. So as much as they can suspend him, why, President, we are not suspending Mawani Diggs? As much as, because they're all singing the same song. Am I mistaken here, somebody? Am I mistaken? Why the people will continue to suffer and Mawani Diggs still be there saying that it's okay. It's not. And I will read this letter to the folks. This is his suspension letter. This is it. You are hereby suspended with immediate effect for time indefinite for administrative reason without pay and benefit. You are instructed to turn over all NPA assets to the Human Resource Executive Director. This is from National Port Authority. This was signed by Honorable Dana Nimbo, Acting Managing Director. Today, October 5th, 2022. CC, Comptroller, Legal Logistics, kind regards. Suspension for time indefinite, October 5th, 2022. Pee-wee S. Flomoku, Executive Director, Human Resources, to Malcolm W. Scott, Director, Public Relations. They have suspended him for time indefinite because he lied to the nation, he lied to the government, he lied to the Liberian people. He's a liar, and probably he's a thief. And probably he's a thief. These are people that have been stealing to Freeport. And this is the reason why they have jobs. Call on Judah Just Show. Lie to him. Millions of Liberians listen to you. They're going to bed hungry. Why the president encouraging these people around him? Why the president accepting these things? It's bad for our country. I hope we can wake up tomorrow and say he's done. He's gone. Don't suspend him and bring him back. This man took the reporters to the National Port Authority to bluff. You think this is a joke? It's not a joke. It's not. This was sent to us by the National Port Authority. It was sent to us that we can announce it because this is wrong. So it's time for President Weah to suspend Mawani Diggs. It's time for President Weah to remove Mawani Diggs. If there is no food in the country by the weekend, Mawani Diggs got to go. The people are tired. We all are tired. Have Mawani Diggs, have she eaten the money? And we're going to do a whole show on Mawani Diggs tomorrow. We're going to do a whole show on because what we are hearing is bad. Has she become a more of a problem than a solution at the Ministry of Commerce? This is our flyer for tomorrow. Is Commerce Minister Mawani Diggs a barrier to trade? Has she become an obstacle to the system? C'est better Twati. If you don't ever pull it down, Mawani Diggs. If you don't ever President Weah, please tell the people that you can make it. Stop playing games with us. Enough is enough. Why are you still keeping her? Dr. Richardson, let's come back to you. I'm going to put this thing down. Why is he still keeping Mawani Diggs? You got to unmute, Dr. Richardson. Why is he still keeping Mawani Diggs?
You know,
$40 million. Where's the money?
You know, we
the public
can't.
relations officer at the Freeport of Monrovia came out to lie. One of the assistant minister gave a press statement on that nonsense press statement they put out. No substance, no hope for the nation. Mawani Diggs went in hiding. So the question to the president, what's going on, Mr. President? Why are you still covering up for your government officials? When will you be so concerned about the Liberian people? When will you work on behalf of the Liberian people? Not just for your friends and your relatives, but for Liberia. When? Talk to us, Dr. Richardson.
So I'm going to include the president and the commerce minister and the finance minister and the person, Malcolm Scott, that just got fired, or Malcolm, whatever his name is, at the
suspended.
And that just got suspended, and I wish that he could get fired. I'm going to include all of those who are involved in failing the Liberian people by creating the condition for rice shortage in the country. The president failed his leadership task. Rice, as we have spoken numerous times on this network, is a political commodity. You have to be, if you're not on top of anything else, this is one thing, the food, our stable food that you have to be on top of. He's taking Liberian people for granted. This president, have heard some Liberians say, oh, the president got at heart. The president got at heart. If you have somebody at heart, you will not be treating them like this. You'll not be having our mothers climbing over fence to find rice. You'll not be having Liberian people struggling. I saw it was in the dark to find rice. By keeping Mawani, okay, the president is telling us that he's endorsing her behavior. He's endorsing the fact that she dropped the ball. Mawani, if you read her background, which I did, we'll have a show tomorrow. I will not be here, but I went back because her experience in America, yes, somehow parallel mine. She worked as an accreditation officer and regulating officer at a university, Wayne County, I believe, university, and that job requires you to be under a task. You got to be on your task. You got to be taking data to make sure that the university is meeting all of the different components that they have to meet to be accredited by the state. So she could transfer that skill and say, okay, we need rights in the country. I need to know the monthly meeting, the monthly data. We heard on this show they dropped the ball with the monthly meeting, the monthly data. Where did money go? People are telling us fragmented information about where the money went. We hear some people say it was 5,000. Some people say it was 5 million. Some people say it was 1.5 billion. So there's all this misinformation that's going on. So he's
a lie, Dr. Richardson. So lies.
So I think all of them need to either speak to the Liberian people, and some people need to go. And
I will say this to you, Dr. Richardson. Samuel ran away.
He ran away.
Samuel check up. Samuel cannot show face. Samuel said this to you. I'm not going to say anything. You all know Samuel. If there's something that was done rightly, he was going to start speaking. You are going to be using all the verbiages, all the words that you will not even understand. But this one, he check up. No, it will pause so many to see whether the guys really care about George Manuel re-election. Whether they really care about personal re-election. They dropped the ball. You're quite correct, Dr. Richardson. They dropped the ball bigly. And our Liberian people will be the one to suffer. Let me remind those that just joining us. Let me put this thing up again. What a shame when this guy took upon himself not only lying, but stealing on behalf of the government. And now Liberians have to go to Sierra Leone to beg for bread. Liberians have to go to Sierra Leone to say, please come to our aid. Are you kidding me? Oh, Lord. We are begging Sierra Leone now? Folks, to be frank with you, I will say this. Your family member begging Sierra Leone, begging Ivory Coast. They are crossing the border to Guinea to find a cup of rice. They are begging our neighboring country for the cup of rice. Where is our leadership? This is embarrassing. This is a disgrace. You will not find Mobile Modu speaking on this rice issue. Chairman of CDC. The city mayor, Jefferson Koji, he gone. You will not hear him speaking. All the lawmakers, they're gone. The president, the commerce minister, the finance minister, everybody. Even San Joseph, what he said today, he was in error. Executive chairman on executive. None of them will put foot. But I guarantee you, 2023, they will come knocking your door that you should vote for them. I double dare you. They will have the dry face to come and ask you to vote for them. Total embarrassment. I agree with you, Ambassador Daniels Lee. Total embarrassment. Where are we? I will read this again. I will give Kev and our brother Kev Hassan and our brother Sintuman in the chance. But I want to read this letter again. I want to read this letter again. It's embarrassment. It's embarrassment, guys. You have family in Liberia, you have friends. Don't take this for a joke. And you know, today when the announcement came out that he was suspended, he was even arguing with Ace Tumani. He said he wasn't suspended. Can you imagine though? They put an announcement up and said the man suspended, man said he wasn't suspended. MOU, look at this letter. National Port Authority to Michael W. Scott, Director of Public Relations. PWS Fomoku, Executive Director of Human Resources. He wrote the letter. Subject, suspension for time indefinite. October 5th, 2022. You are hereby suspended with immediate effect for time indefinite for administrative reason without pay and benefits. You are instructed to turn over all NPA assets to the Human Resource Executive Director. They said turn it over to Pee-wee. Don't come back to the port. You're a liar. You're a rogue. Don't come back. We don't want to see you. You disgrace the image of the government. You have disgraced the image of the National Port Authority. You have lied. But now, guys, understand yourself. Do you think he did it by himself? You want me to tell you who told him to do it? We got the information. I can tell you who told him to do it. You think he did it by himself to park a car and call Spoon and say, come with me at the port? Guys, he was instructed to do it. Kind regards, Comptroller, Legal Logistics. Approved by the acting managing director, Ghana Nimbo. October 5th, 2022. Look at her signature. Sintumane George, what a disgrace to our nation. Then we'll go to Kev Hassan.
You know, like I said earlier, this rice crisis is I think it's one of the longest I've seen since the administration. We have been in this crisis, and it's very concerning. And every day you see people watching different videos from all over the country, and it's embarrassing. With 369 days to go before elections, the next election in this country, especially so with a president who is seeking re-election. Rice is a political commodity, and I don't think the president want to be in this position. So I'm saying that I know I've gotten reports that there are rice being negotiated from neighboring countries to get on vessel to come. But until that happens, the president needs to act, exercise the political will, and some heads needs to roll. You cannot allow this embarrassment to set up upon your government and your administration, and no one is held accountable. No, and I mean you have to let somebody be held accountable for this. So who caused this to happen? I mean, we shouldn't put everything on Ukraine. No, because according to what we all know, at all times we should have at least a year worth of rice in our country, in the country that can last for a year at all times. But to see that today we're in this crisis is a serious thing, and I don't think it can happen right now. And I don't think the president is comfortable with this. I'm very sure he's not happy with this because by this time he would have been at the port or out there in the public, showing the public.
So, George, I will interrupt you on that note. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with you one day.
Yeah.
Your two beautiful daughters that were yelling. You spoke to them. I'm on the phone. You'll be quiet. The little one, who is my favorite, she was still yelling. And he said, if you yell one more time, we'll take your phone away from you. I never heard, I guess. She was quiet. Georgie, that's what a father would do. You speak with authority. You said the president is mad. What have he done?
That's what I'm saying, man.
You said President George Mother is my way. Should we go there, though? You know what? Let me take this time to even appreciate Donna Nimbo for the fact that she suspended this guy. I'll be frank with you guys. I will appreciate the acting managing director for the fact that she suspended him. I'm telling you, that's the right direction. Not to cover up and pile up on his lies. She suspended him because it was a disgrace under her management. I guarantee you that some other managing director were going to cover it. And she suspended him.
Yesterday,
What is President we are doing with Mawani Deeds? When will he suspend her?
I think like people said yesterday. I think at that press conference, the Ministry of Information press briefing, Mawani should have gotten before the camera to read that statement and take few questions from the Liberian people, from the press. Look, because look, even if you just say something to the people they will understand that, but you just be quiet about it. Issue this statement, this press conference, this press statement. I don't think is the right thing to do right now. Someone needs to speak. Let the voices be heard. I'm very,
Well, every one
I'm
of
worried.
you that follow us right now and on our live feed, I just want you to please comment. Give the angry face you can ever give, that emoji up there. I want you, if you think what we are saying is in the right direction, give us the thumb up. If you think that you appreciate the work that this government is doing by not doing anything, you can give a thumb up. You can give them the thumb up. Show your angry face. If you're mad, just show something. Show something that will represent you. If you text, you know what? Go on one of those emojis. Say something. Thank you very much. Holistic Chelsea. You go ahead and just tap onto it.
Illustrious
Because this
being
is the
born.
way for us to go ahead and express ourselves. Say something. Express yourself. Don't be rude. Don't say something bad. Don't curse. You know, just say something. I would say to you, inspiring Julius, don't curse. Don't curse. Just express yourself in a decent way. We have to pitch this. So, Honorable Kev Hassan, please talk to us.
Okay, I hope I will have the time to speak without interruption, so the people can hear another side to it, as well as you have your right. CEO Tomlin and rest do have the time to speak. Let's some of us also speak to.
Kev, you're on 2 minutes now. Your time is running. Talk,
I'm
brother.
not under 2 minutes. I'm not under 2
Kev,
minutes.
you're on 2 minutes. Kev, you're on 2 minutes. I'm moderating. Everybody on 2 minutes, Kev.
But see you say a lot.
Kev, you're going to waste time on this thing, Kev. We're not here to be wasting time, my man. Speak.
First of all, I think there's other things going on in the country that we should tackle. We should talk about. People putting rice in trucks, taking them out of the country. We should talk about that. We should tell the people, when you see something, say something, people taking rice out of the country. It helped to bring some of the issues that happen in the country. And two, the government now waking up and thinking, oh, we're going to bed. We don't care. This president do care. This president on top of it, and rice will be coming in the country in coming days. In coming days, rice will be in the country. But if we say, oh, they will come and ask you for your vote, they will do something, it just playing right in the hands of people who put us in this situation in the first place. It just happened that this president having some of the backlash of the system they put us in. Only if we can just look at the situation and speak to it and try to educate our people. Because if somebody takes 600 bags of rice, keep taking it out to Sierra Leone. You see people went to Sierra Leone buying. People from Sierra Leone coming into Liberia buying our rice. People from Liberia taking it and carrying it. We all know that Liberia do have the cheapest rice in that region. They coming in buying it. So Liberia is like the port where Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, Guinea coming to buy our rice. So Liberia is like a country that's supplying all those countries. It happened. They have arrested so many trucks that are going across to those neighboring countries. I think we should speak on it. Because when we speak on it, because of the grounds that Spoon cover, people will be out there looking. It will help Mary them out there.
It will help Mary when you get information minister coming to speak.
We
And
are
to be
not
said,
the information minister or
Mawani,
spokesperson.
Mawani,
It will help
Mawani,
my Mary
Mawani.
when you get my
let's
Mawani D
be
speaking
part
to the
of the
people.
solution.
Stop playing
When
this
we are
game.
part of the solution, we
People
are
go
part
to
of the
Ivory Coast for
solution,
rest and
then
settle.
it
They
will
say we
help
have my
our
Mary.
people. But every day we're talking about, hey, this person, this president who do
You see how difficult it is for you to even defend this thing,
history of doing so much for this country. Would somebody would tell me that the president just sitting down? I'm glad that we do have a president who will not be panicked by what the media or other surrogates or other people will say. He just there to do his job, and rights will be coming in the country.
When?
And that's what we should be talking
When?
about.
When?
Let's be in coming days. I'm telling you, in coming
When?
days.
How many days left?
In coming days.
How many days left?
Will rest
How
come
many
in
days
this country?
left?
Will rest come in this country? You will see enough.
How many days
rights.
left?
But I take my hat to the president and by his leadership for keeping rice that price for almost 5 years, that our neighbors can come and buy our rice. This is not the first time in history that Liberia, our neighbors will come into Liberia and buy things. Liberia always like that. It just happened that because of the global crisis, which the American spoke about, and we can put what the American spoke about, global crisis. We need to educate. Let's go. People love to say the American. Then why are we not speaking what the Americans say? The problem that in Liberia,
we have global crisis. How come we're not going to? How come we're going to and Guinea to buy rice? How come global crisis is not affecting?
Let's talk about the issue. So why the American statement from the embassy is being pushed aside? Why can't we speak on that? Why can't we speak on that? Why they're saying about global crisis?
Our state right. You know why right now? The issue right now is your government dropped the ball.
Richardson gave me a chance to finish.
You expect
Richardson gave me a chance to finish.
No, we're not going to do that.
Gave me a chance to finish.
So let's put what the Americans, let's put it on our show right now and let the Liberian people see what the American said. We just need to just read
it. If you get it, send it to James. We'll put it up.
Okay, let me send it to James and let's put it
thank
up.
you. Thank you. Let me say this, Dr. Richardson, before you come in. We are in this mess in Liberia because the only thing Kev wants in his life is to defend President Weah. That's the only thing. He cares less about the millions of other Liberians. He cares less about the millions of other Liberians in the country. The only thing Kev focus on is President Weah. We wish the president well, but we must encourage the president to do the right thing. And I think silent, the means in which this president has remained silent, is bad for his re-election. It's getting worse for the country, Dr. Richardson. This must stop. Today is the 5th. In the next 5 days will be exact 1 year to election. October 10, 2023 will be election day. The people will speak. The people will speak. Liberian will speak. They are hearing us. How painful it is to go across the border in Salone to beg for bread. How painful it is to go to Ivory Coast to beg for bread. How painful it is for Guinea, for us to be asking Guineans for food. $40 million. $40 million. A lot of money that wasn't given. Mawani Dis cannot speak.
James, I send it to you. Can you post it, please?
Mawani, you get James, nobody got to call James back. Mawani Dis cannot speak. The president refusing to speak. Ledger Wolverine, the information minister, is hiding.
If you call him to say something, he said, my man, the people finish speaking, oh, I'm here to lie. What let you when you're telling people? Because the system is broken. You know, this thing is bad. I told you guys, there's a reason why the young man was very adamant. He said, I must say this rest at the put. He was very adamant. He said it because he was told to say it. I want us to open the phone line. I was trying to talk about the comments, but I will talk about the comments tomorrow. I'm going to bring about the comments, selection, about all those that came in. I will give my own view on it again tomorrow with a sufficient time. But we will say this to every Liberian. Be patient. Be patient. Your constitutional right is for you to go to the ballot box and vote. For you to express your anger. Be patient. And you will go ahead and the people will hear you. The people will hear you. You will speak. This time around, you will speak. They will hear you. Enough is enough. That the Richards will not do another round, quick, speak. Somebody and Kev Hassan, they will open the phone line.
You know, Liberians, I hope you are hearing us speak to you. The president was paid, and he is being paid for a job. We're not going to praise sing him when he drops the ball, nor are we going to praise sing his lieutenants in the name of his commerce minister or his finance minister. They're getting paid. You know, they can afford to get rice or whatever food they want to eat, but the average Liberian cannot. And so we should tell them in elections of 2023 how you feel. Express your pain to them. And for somebody to come sit here to tell us that the president do care, he does care. This is not how you show that you care for people. When you have a job to do, you stay on top of it. You become responsible. You ask for this job. Nobody forced you to do it. And so you make sure that you put people in positions that can calculate our current stock of rice. You kept on talking about what is the current stock of rice in the country? You speak to the Liberian people. You don't go in hiding. You tell them exactly what the issue is. Don't leave them up to them fighting for themselves. You're supposed to stand up for the Liberian people. That's what a president does. That's what leadership quality is. Standing up to represent the people that you serve. And then we can't even trust with rights. Then you want us to trust you with security issues. Talking about, oh, we're taking rights out of the country, so that what we should be concerned about. You will not be able to provide security for Liberians who are traveling in inter-border countries. So, you know, Liberians, I hope you are listening. This is your time, your choice to make the best decision for Liberia. This is not about politics. I'm not playing politics here. I'm playing the psychology of the Liberian people. I'm playing your hunger, your pain, you know, voting the right person to make good decisions for you. It doesn't matter who is the opposition or anybody who can bring rights for you to eat, have a deadline as to when to bring rights for you. That's the person you should be voting for. It's not about politics.
I want to say thank you before we go to, I think that the phone line question, guys, where you're getting ready to come on after Kev Hassan would be at this time, do you still have faith? Do you still have trust in Mawani Deeks? I want you to answer that question because I want Liberians to hear you. If we still believe that Mawani Deeks can do this job, should she stay as commerce minister through this time that you're going to bed hungry? We're going to ask you the question. We're going to be direct. We're going to ask you, Liberia, you need to answer. When you pick up the phone line, if you think that Mawani Deeks have done the job, say it. If you think that the president need to fire her, you got to say it because this is about you. For me, I think Mawani Deeks need to go. I don't think she need to be on that job. I think she have failed you as a Liberian. She making you to go to bed hungry, and you got to speak up. Sentumal and George.
Like I said again, it's been since the president returned from the United Nations. He spoke about this rights issue at the airport, and since then we have not heard from him. is what we call for me is the political will to act right now, because he this what's happening to is on his watch, because he's the president. Everything will be put on him, and I hope he could even address the nation about this rights issue, or even host his major press conference and address this issue. But I can say this though, this is going to hurt him in the next next 12 months. I mean, people will always reflect to this. His opponents will always try to reflect to this and say, "Oh, rights issue." Right now, people are being nationalistic and patriotic now for the issue of rights. But once the issue is settled, they will use it on him. So I hope he could break his silence before even the rights arrive in this country, or the rights that he's expecting to come. Hope the president can address this issue. And I mean, he's good. I mean, people don't understand, but whenever he speaks extemporaneously to the Liberian people, it's one of his best moments. The way he really flowed, you know, he addressed Liberian people, talk to them, and tell them what's going on, you know. But to just be silent and people speculating is not good for him. And whoever advising this president, they're not doing him good. And whoever trying to defend what's happening, they're not doing him good. You cannot say you love someone or you care for someone, you support someone and you defend the indefensible. I don't think it's fair to him and to the country and to his government. I hope and pray that somebody will step to the microphone. You know, before I end, uh, I mean, say what you want to say, but this was one of the moments that I'm sure they're missing the Minister McGill. There's one in moment like this, this is when he will come to, you were going to call this show, you were going to come to the microphone and speak on the issue. But right now, he's not there no more, and people are saying, I mean, so what? Is he indispensable or what? But this was the problem. This is the problem we find ourselves in, and this government is in a tight situation, and they must address the Liberian people, because people are making all kind of threats, and people are speculating, and by us saying people who are in rights and doing so forth, somebody said that the whole rights because they want the money. They should pay for the money. They want to lose on this. They want the money. They want a profit. And then the government also appropriated $11 million for subsidy. So the question is, what happened to that money? I mean, if you subsidize the rights issue, then what's going on? It's a serious thing, and I pray and hope that we should not discuss this next week. Hope this will be the last time discussing this rights issue, and we should be able to talk about rights in the country, and the people are getting able to buy the rights on the market.
If rice is in the country, we'll say it. We announce it. We'll send our crew. We'll see the ship. We'll clap. We'll celebrate. But in times like these, the president needs to address his people. And I do believe that the commerce minister should go. I think it's about time that President George Manuel bring in new leadership. Samuel Toy is MIA. Legendary Rennie is MIA. Mawani Dix is MIA. All of them, the checker. And I can guarantee you that's exactly how they will run away from this president when push comes to shove. Watch it. They will leave him standing. They will leave him stranded. I can double dare you. He will be standing like Hatch Sitter standing alone now. Mr. President need to understand that the people around him, they only care for themselves. He need to understand his hope is in the Liberian people, not just select few. This is bad. And we will open the phone line after Kev Hassan speak. We will tell our Liberian people whether they still have faith in Mawani Dix or whether this president need to let her to go. It's bad politics. It's not good for our nation. And we need to tell the president, and the Liberian people need to speak to him and tell him that enough is enough. Listen to us, Liberian. And don't listen to Samuel Twe. Don't listen to Legendary Rennie. Don't listen to Mawani Dix. They are lying to you. No rest in the country. You need to ask them where's the 40 million. Who they give it to? Who they give the 40 million to? Did you give it to SWAT? Did you give it to K&K? Did you give it to the Fuani? Who you get the money to? Or did you eat the Liberian people money? Need to answer this question. Who did you give the money to, Mawani Dees? You on paper. You wrote a statement. You said we get 40 million. Who you getting 40 million to? Why we not rest in the country? Let's stop that tabata, man. That foolishness. Don't do it. But Kev, talk to us and let's talk to our people in Liberia. Talk to us.
Okay, James, can you put that post up for me? Or see, okay, you put that post up. I'm just going to read the first paragraph. Then I see. Okay.
Is this it?
Liberian people see it from the U.S. Embassy. What it's saying, the alarming rise such as in Liberia is just one example of the rising food insecurity across the world. It's not from me. It's from the American. This from the U.S. Embassy.
No, Dr. Richardson, please let him finish. I beg you, man, let him finish.
This from the U.S. Embassy. They issued this statement. We have to educate our people because there's serious rice insecurity across the world. I said it on the show. People say, oh, no, that's not true. Because people will only talk about when the U.S. Embassy says something that they like. But this thing, the American, they quote Liberia name in this release. So we do have issue around the world. They said it. You know, it's an example of rising food insecurity across the world. It's there. So why Liberian will not understand this? That the government will not suffer her own self or her people, especially a year to election. Who does that? Who does that? But we should be speaking on people who put in rice on trucks and taking it to another neighboring country. I understand when somebody say Mawani should speak. I totally understand that. And I agree with that. But we should not use it as playing politics and saying, oh, Nati, oh, everything fine in the world. No. There's a reason why the U.S. Embassy pulled this thing out. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. It's a reason. Because the same people playing politics around. So it was like, you know what, let's put this statement out. And why? The people who want chaos, like the low-grade politician there who promised $150,000 and never come on spoon again after he lied. After he come and lie to us, never come on spoon talk again. Because failure to answer the tough question. Taking his own money, give it to himself. Nothing. First, go in the corner, grab it. Nothing. We lie to the public. Those low-grade 7% people will lie to the public and say, I will use $150,000 for COVID. No, they're not talking about that. You know what they will tell you? Oh, that demand money. No, when you say you will give it to the Liberian people, it's no more your money. You say you will give it, you promise. But no, they will not talk that. They will not say anything. But they will come up and talk about, oh, the president did. Oh, the president that. But you lie on spoon. You lie to my face. I asked you this question. I said, will you come back and show us how you use the money? He said, yes, I will come back. It'll be over a year and a half now. Never appear on spoon. And I'm throwing the challenge to Mr. Cummings. If you're saying the truth and you get every evidence, the Liberian people fell 150,000, come on spoon talk and show it. But I would dare anybody, he will not come on. He will not come on spoon talk because he lied to the Liberian people. So
Thank you.
the U.S. embassy have they spoke. So people who believe what the U.S. embassy, so believe this, but you cannot be selective in your belief. Some kind of amnesia, and just think that I don't remember. I will not talk about this. No, speak.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's
Thank
talk
you.
about it. And
So tomorrow, Josh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say something on the same U.S. embassy something. Look at the second paragraph. It says, to combat this over the past decade means 10 years, the United States has invested more than $1 billion each year to feed the future, the U.S. government global food security initiative led by USAID. That means through USAID, they've been giving money to countries all over the world for the last 10 years. So we should be able to, our agricultural sector should be able to say, well, based on US, on
yes. So why
USAID,
do those people
yeah,
who
what we have
receive
done.
that
Kev,
money?
hold on. Let the man make a point,
What
Kev.
we have done. So
Yeah, hold on. Let the man make the point.
US also telling us that, look, we have given over $1 billion over the last 10 years to countries, including Liberia. So what we have been doing? Okay, we're not talking only about this government, the past government, and this government. What have been doing over the last decade with the USAID funds? So we shouldn't. This U.S. government release. They are trying to just
You
give
know,
a general
tomorrow,
perspective, but I see that too. They are putting us on record.
Jody, you took it from me. Dr. Richard said, I know you were coming 1 minute. How dare you, Kev Hassan? How dare you? Shamelessly reading something that we all going to read together. This got nothing to do with the field management of the government when it comes to the reciprocity. This got nothing to do with your government $14 million that it said it gave to rest importers. Kev, this got nothing to do when the government, Samatua, Mawani D's, they cannot account for the $14 million who they gave it to. It got nothing to do with you importing rest in the country. And importers bringing rest and you're telling them to sell it for $13 and you give them $2 each or less and you cannot give it to them. We know we have a global crisis, Kev, but they're not saying that you cannot import rice and you cannot find rice to bring in the country. Kev Hassan, let's be real with Liberian tonight. Don't do this to your brothers and sisters just to justify the reason why 14 million. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Just to justify the reason why 14 million cannot be accounted for. Just to justify the reason why Liberians going to Sierra Leone now to beg for bread, going to Guinea to beg for bread, going to Ivory Coast to beg for bread. Don't do that. This is wrong. Fair leadership is wrong. Don't do that to Liberian. The reason why president cannot speak. The president refusing to speak, then you said the American is speaking for the president now. The American not speaking for Mawani D's. So the American is legible ready now. They're speaking. They're coming. They're giving a press statement now.
They're speaking because it's
That's
a global
a joke.
issue. Because
That's
it's a global
joke.
issue.
Dr. Richardson talked to us. That's
Now
a
the
joke.
Americans said it's a joke.
It is
Dr. Richardson talked to us.
It is obvious that some people just do not understand how diplomacy works. America has the obligation to inform the world, including Liberians, about looming situations that happen. The word looming, please take note, okay? It says it's a threat. It doesn't mean that it is happening right now. They send this message out to us. Yes, go define it.
Dr. Richardson, please continue.
It's happening right now.
Dr. Richardson, please continue.
Right now.
Yeah, we will give her a chance to continue.
Potential threat. And the way they respond to the threat
of rising. It's an example of the rising and
looming situation. They define the word looming and rising. They didn't say, President, we are having a right situation. Your government, your president lied to the Liberian people at the airport. Your government is being paid. Your president is being paid by taxpayers and donor contributions to Liberia to make sure that we have a stable food in the country. And the American government is sending us a diplomatic message it's telling us that There's food insecurity, we agree, around the world. There's a looming condition.
So like the way they're watching us at the UN, right?
Threatening situation that we need to be aware of, that we needed to have been documenting our commodity in the country. We didn't do a great job at it. Your government failed, despite the fact that the American government have given us money to sustain our agriculture sector. Despite the U.S. government have given us money to help support us. Looming situation going around the world.
Even the money in agriculture that the rich is saying, even the money these people giving to the agriculture ministry, yes, still, it's all become D-hole cover hole. They still use the money to empower our agriculture system in the country. The failure for the government to bring rest in the country, you say, that global crisis. Shame on you, Kev. My fellow Liberians, we're about to open the phone line. We want to hear from you. Real quick. Should Mawani this go? Yes or no? Yes or no? Enough. Listen, it's about time for you to talk to your president. This is the way in which you can talk to him. He will listen to you. And tomorrow question will ask you, should the president speak? Be part of the discussion. If you're online, you say yes, we'll call your name. If you want us to call your name, give us a thumb up. We'll call your name and say, this person says she should go. The question we are asking you, if you want us to call your name, give us a thumb up, we'll call your name. Tua Johnson say yes. Thank you. If you want us to call your name, give a thumb up, right? Your emoji, we'll call your name. If you want Mawani Dish to stay for you not to get no food here and your children, that's your business. You can say. If you want to go K-Praise, you say yes, K-Praise. Peter Johnson, you say yes. And let's open the phone line. Aaron Kuben, let's open the phone line. Let's hear from our folks. Josh Kroman says she should go. Alfonso Nompolo, she should go. Basman Morris, yes. John Hayes, yes. Samuel Coupland, yes. Rebecca Simpson, yes. Patrick Johnson, yes. Bobby MK said no. All right, Bobby, that's you. Kabola, yes. Feder Joe, yes. Sekou Donso, yes. Everybody's saying yes. Chidima, Don, yes. Boama Crawford, yes. Daniel Sherman, yes. T.N. Joshua Chapter, yes. Isaac Zin, yes. They are saying, Mr. President, let her go. Phoebe Joe say yes. Let's open the phone line. Aaron, come on. We will get back to you guys. We want to see you guys saying yes. Give her your emoji thumbs up. If you want her to go, Ami said 100% she should go. Let's tell the president it's time for, listen, we got to tell the president. If the government officials just sitting down and bringing problem that you're suffering, use this network. Tell the president that you don't have faith in that person. They should go. If the president failed, then we'll ask the president what next. So right now, the question is, and I will say to you, James, put the question up. Should Mawani Dees go? Should President we have fire her? Suspend her because of incompetence? Because our people are tired of suffering. They're going to bed hungry every day. We want to hear from our people. Aaron, come on. Come on, Aaron. The question remains. It's about time that she go. If you say yes, let us know.
Yes.
Just put the question up. We'll take a lot of questions today. If it causes us to go extra hour, we'll do it. But we ask the question. If you want her to go, say yes. If you don't want her to go, say no. Go ahead,
So the
Aaron.
number is 7710750 505101075 and the
And put
numbers.
my phone number up too. Put my number up. That's how serious it is. Those that can't reach you, let it call me. Put my number up. You got my number. Put it up too, James. Open the phone line, Aaron.
Welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening. You are live.
Thank you. Aaron, let me appreciate you. I'm Andrew Moses, and I'm popularly known as Kev Hassan Pekin. I joined this conversation this time around from District 13. You know, I appreciate your argument and person who follow religiously. But I think we all do respect.
There's a question. Please address the issue.
Listen, if the man address the issue, take him up. Answer the question, yes or no. We don't have for plenty talking.
Okay,
All right, go to the next. Let me take this one very quick, Aaron. Your name and where you calling from?
This is Prince P.C. Calon Jr. and I call you from Texas.
Prince, the question remains: should Mawani Dees go or she should stay?
There'll be no need for her to stay because this lady is keep lying to the Liberian people. What is she doing? The president promised that anybody cannot do their job.
Thank you very much, Prince. Thank you. We appreciate you. Take the next call. Put my number up. Let everybody call. Yes or no? Stay or go. It's enough. Let's hear from the people.
Yeah, my name is Joseph Cherry from my party.
Quiet.
Yeah, my answer.
Hello?
I want to say something. You know, this government are not just suffer off, but they
yes, Kev, we're doing the show, please. Yes or no? Should she go, Aaron Kuban? Stick to the question, Aaron.
Thank you very much. Let's take this person.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Yeah, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. Welcome. Go to the question. Answer.
Yeah, my name is Thomas Bowen. I'm calling from Pebble Road.
Go ahead.
I don't only want the Congress minister to go, but even the president and Kev Hassan, all of them should go.
Okay, thank
Let's
you very
move
much.
on.
Welcome.
Hello,
you are live. Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks for tonight. My name is Matthew D. Kekula. I'm joining from Sonic. I want to say thanks to Spoon again. You know, my only this need to go. Out here, I'm a supporter person. We are, but we are very downhearted when it comes to the situation. People are suffering, and the minister, she's not doing well for the person. The sympathy.
Thank you very much. Let's take this person. Welcome.
Yeah, hello. Emmanuel Thomas calling from Portland.
Okay, quickly.
Yeah, let woman go. That woman are helping us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me take this one, Aaron. My sister, your name and where you calling from?
My name is Josephine Nama. I am calling from Indiana.
Yes or no? Should Mawani Dees, the commerce minister, go or the president should keep her?
Yes, she should go. She needs to go.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hello? Your name and where you calling from?
Oh, this is Tijani, calling from Minnesota.
Your answer, yes or no? Should Mawani Dees go?
Mawani Dees, let her leave.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go back to you, Aaron.
I have a caller.
Okay. Hello, welcome.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, caller.
We're not hearing your caller, Kev.
We are to please take tomorrow to talk to the Liberian people. If you can speak broken English, they will understand you. These people are your citizens. They love you. And the rest issue, the people are taking it to be politics and other things. It will harm him. President, we are pleased.
Thank you. Aaron, go ahead.
Okay. Welcome.
Yeah, hello, brother.
You are live. Go ahead.
Thank you. The next caller.
Let me take this person. Welcome.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, you are live. Go ahead quickly.
My name is Mohammed. I'm calling from the office.
Okay, let's hear you.
Okay, that woman must go.
Okay, welcome.
Hello.
Hello, you are live. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Red Pop calling from my My one is a problem. Let this go a bunch of kids. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's take another person. Welcome. Hello?
Yeah.
You are live. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're calling from Western Power Play.
Okay, thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Let's hear you.
I'm Lawrence Silver calling from Platinum. Even when we say she may go, she may not go. The president will not do nothing, and will not even suspend or sack her. So for me, let she go.
Okay, thank you very much. Welcome.
I'm Lawrence calling from Pinsville.
Go ahead.
I want that lady to leave.
Thank you. Thank you. I got one here, Aaron. Go ahead. Your name and where you calling from?
I'm Victoria Blamo Cooper, calling from White Lane, Indiana.
Yes or no? Should Mawani this go or stay?
Let her go. Let her go.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got someone. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Go ahead, Kendrick.
Good evening. My name is Kendrick Salif. I'm sorry your question and answer to you about would I say something. But the first point to leave the place is Kev Hassan.
No, Mawani issue. Accent.
Kev is not in the interest of the Liberian people.
Mawani this should go or stay? Yes or no?
Point me that she already left because she need not to be there.
Thank you. Aaron, take it. Let's take calls from Liberia. Let's take the people. Let's hear from them.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you. Daniel from Vancouver.
Hello?
Oh, are you there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Daniel Dimusa calling from Grand Crew, Baguio City, Liberia.
Okay, Grand Crew, welcome.
Yeah, so happy to be on the show. My concern here has to do with the...
From Grand Crew?
Yeah,
Grand Crew. Yeah, he's calling Grand Crew.
Yeah, Common Minister have been working with the government. I guess that there's a reporting system that have been done. Unfortunately, stuff. So why are those reports that have been going to the president over the last year? So as there's short or there's not shortage. So if we are holding people responsible for this.
So what's your answer to the question?
My one would be the first minister should be leaving and then
okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Let's take a break. Aaron, take that last one. I want to hear from the guys on the side. We got something coming in.
Hello, go ahead. Yeah, this is a final person for now. Go ahead.
What I'm going to say is that our children going to school, we don't have food. Then we know food, then you're saying we must go to protest. Then you want us to Ghana. Because even the nation had to leave. But you're not doing nothing for the citizens.
Let me talk to that woman. Aaron. Child, hold on, let me talk to her.
Listen to the CEO. Listen to the CEO. He wants to talk with you.
What's her name?
Listen.
What's her name?
What's your name?
What's your name, man?
I need to Comfort Johnson. I come from Burma Bridge.
Comfort, you from Burma Bridge. Where I used to be. I used to be in Point Newton. Listen to me. Listen to me, mama. Just listen to me. We will hold the government feet to the fire.
Comfort Johnson, I come from Burma Bridge. I listen to you.
Yes, I can hear you. Don't put you and your children on the street to protest. It will not solve the problem. We will do this all the time till the government take action and the government answer to you and your children. Don't put them on the street. Don't put them in harm's way. Don't let somebody tell you, say, go protest. We will speak. We will make our story heard. Don't put your children in harm's way, mama. Don't do protests. You have suffered too long. We will take the time to tell the Liberian people, protest is not the answer. But we'll use this thing to hold the government feet to the fire. Don't do that. Liberia will be better.
I beg you, because and you are the biggest session now in Liberia. We all will listen to it. But then tomorrow we are single mother. We don't have men. I want me, my two sisters, myself, we get 16 children. For me, I get 4. The other one get 7. The other one, when you come to our horses now, that little tea will sitting on tonight. So the God will all say, the 2 people, they are not going to school, Mr. Winston. There's no food for us to eat again.
You know, I would do this because I would do this, Comfort. I would do this. I would do this. What I would ask you to do, what I would ask you to do, Comfort, listen to me. Listen to me. What I would ask you to do, give your phone number.
Listen to you carefully.
Give your phone number to Aaron. I will call you personally. Don't go on the street to protest. That's not the answer. Don't let nobody fool you to protest. Yes. Give your phone number to Aaron. I will call you. I will call you tomorrow. I beg you, mama. If the water you drink, trust God, a good day will come. Eat that farina, eat that dry cassava. Trust God, a better day coming. Let me call you and talk to you. Don't protest. Don't let nobody make you to protest for their own gain. Get her number, Aaron. Get her number.
So the calls are coming in, so I'm not getting her number on the lounge phone.
But get her number. Let you call her number.
Just announce it.
I will be at the station tomorrow.
Yeah, bring it. Yes, bring it to the
Yes,
station.
yes, come out of the station tomorrow.
Come out of the station. That's right. Come to the station.
I
Thank you.
will try to come there. I will come soon and work and read Twala then before I can get on
Come down at 2 o'clock because you know we'll be sleeping on the side. I want to talk to you. Come there at 2 o'clock your time.
2 p.m. At 2
Yeah.
p.m. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Should we take more?
Everyone take a break. We'll come back to take calls. Let me hear from the guys. Dr. Richardson, and I know Sintumani is coming back. Dr. Richardson, look at the woman talking about her children, her sister's children, eating. You know, people can eat water, but the woman is saying that we got nothing. Not that they don't have money, they got money. Yeah, man. But no rest. Georgie, this is beyond empathy.
It's sad. It is sad.
I will talk to her tomorrow.
Thank you.
By God's grace, I will talk to her tomorrow.
Thank you.
But I will discourage protests. It's not an answer. This network and every network should condemn protests, but hold the government feet to the fire. I understand it says it's your constitutional right. But guess what? Don't let anybody use your mouth to chew the pepper. Don't allow anybody use your mouth to chew the pepper because you don't know what behind they're protesting. And you will be in harm's way. So let's talk about the issue. Let's hold the minister accountable. If the minister failed to perform, let ask President we have to fire that minister.
See, it's like, how do you hold the president feet to the fire? He does not listen. How many times? Yes, I do agree that we should continue to speak out, let the Liberian people know the reality of the situation. But, you know, out of 18 people call here tonight, 18 of them said that the minister should go. There are 3 people who talk about other issues. I heard zero.
One says she should stay.
Okay, maybe I missed that one because maybe you are mixing that with other issues, okay? So majority of people are saying the minister should go. The question is, will the president listen? We asked the president not to have this huge celebration that he had for his birthday. He did exactly that. And the thing about it, the worst thing about it, you call that out. Mawani was very instrumental in getting people to speak. She was the MC at the program. So does that sound like a president who has the Liberian people at heart? He is endorsing her behavior. So this president, the Minister of Information, the Minister of Finance, all of them, the people who lie, NPA, they are delusional to some extent. They are telling the Liberian people another reality that is not existing. They are telling them we got current stock of rice. Rice will be coming soon when they know that their data isn't telling them the truth. Okay?
Dr. Register, let me take this time. All of our people are following us. We will highlight them and we'll do our closing. We want to appreciate you all. Listen, join us tomorrow. We got a message from Mawani Dees. Something is happening at the Commerce Ministry. And you guys want to hear this. You know, we don't have a time because we brought in our brother them that are running for position here in America. But we got a special message from Mawani Dees. Things that she's doing at the Commerce Ministry. Trust me, guys. We got to say this. And this is our flyer for the mall. And also, I want to tell you guys, we're doing another flyer for Madera Cooper. I think Madera Cooper will be with us tomorrow.
Good.
Madam Madera Cooper, Dr. Richardson, please reach out to her. I spoke to her. She wanted to join the program tomorrow,
Good.
Thursday the 6th. But we got this message from Mawani Dees. Is Commerce Minister Mawani Dees a barrier to trade? What's happening with the Lebanese people and Mawani Dees? What's happening with the Lebanese people and Mawani Dees? We have to discuss that. It is important. Triple F, fresh, wholesome food. What's happening with George Abijade and Mawani Dees? What's happening at the Commerce Ministry? We are in the Commerce Ministry. And guys, it will shock you. Something will go through your vein. We got a message from the Commerce Ministry. I believe, let me tell you people, man. If President Weah want to be re-elected, he must let Mawani Dees go. Sintumone. If President Weah want to be re-elected, he must let some people go. Seriously. The Commerce Ministry is bad. Ask them, where's the $40 million the finance they gave them? You think we're just sitting here, we can just come on show to talk? We're going to come on show to talk. We'll let our people understand, and they will understand for themselves, because this is Liberia. Truth be told, before tomorrow morning, President, where should let my money this go? This is getting closer to home. So, Sintumani George, Dr. Richardson, Kev Hassan, I will play this for our followers to understand, because we'll be back tomorrow. These are your politicians in Liberia. Look at them. These are your politicians in Dr. Richardson, what are you saying?
He's taking everything for himself.
That's it. A politician that just won and won and won and won. And that's that. I want you to picture something. Please, picture something. Let me play again. Just for a few seconds. He took 1. He took 2, 3, 4, 5. No space to put them.
You're dropping here.
These are the common mindset of the Liberian politician. That's why our people are suffering. You're going to die and leave it all behind. You won't take it with you. You won't take it. Ask the Queen. Ask Queen Elizabeth. All the crown, everything from Africa. She didn't take it with her.
Nope.
How dare you to make our people suffer? How dare you to just grab. Look at this. Look at this. African politician. Their attitude. You got 4. You put it between your legs. You got the 5th one. Hey, man. You got the 6th one. The 2 hands full, the legs, everything full, Dr. Richardson is dropping. But he's still taking more. He's still taking more. He not get 10, oh. It's all 40 around him. No. You see, these things are lesson learned, folks. You can't have it all. Let's do our closing, guys. The guy at the station, they got to go. To my fellow Liberians, better days is coming. Those days that you will rejoice and be glad that you're Liberian. Better days will be here pretty soon. Soon and very soon, we will celebrate. Because you know why? President George Manuel will listen to you. He will listen to you. Something begot something, and nothing begot nothing. It's about time that the president look in Samuel 12 face and fire him. It's about time that the president let you ready to go. It's about time that the president allow and say, Mawani, this enough is enough, thank you. Let her go. It's about time that the president fires Samora Wodokoli. It's about time that the change that the Liberian people are asking for come to play. If the president failed to make the reshuffle to change those folks and bring structure in his government, his re-election is at stake. I can say this to you. I have nothing. I'm not for any side. I'm not ANC. I'm not CDC. I'm not opposition or imposition. I'm here for the Liberian people. And I will say like I said, you know, they get mad at me. They will say anything they want to say. But it's about time that we speak truth to power. I believe, and I will say this to you, President George Manawia need to let go of Samuel Twe, Mawani Dees, Information Minister, every one of them that are playing games. Because tomorrow, he will be here alone standing, all by himself. All by himself. This is wickedness in high places. And trust me, with God above, our right to prove, we all shall see that better day by the grace of God. I rest. I can't wait to talk to Comfort tomorrow. And I think I will talk to Comfort on the show tomorrow. I will encourage her to come on the show. I want to encourage Liberian to come and explain themselves on the show tomorrow. The hardship they are going through. If you listen to Spoon, I'm going to get Liberian women and men from the market, from the water, to come and explain themselves. The people will hear them. St. Tomalin George, Kev Hassan, Dr. Peabody, Dr. Richardson, please do your closing that we can bid our followers good night. Dr. Richardson, you go first, please.
In Liberia, you can say that your era and that not your era. It is clear that this presidency business is not the president's area. They may came from the UN. They had discussions about rice not being a country. And he got down, he said it was noise making. You're Liberian people, you're lying, okay? Your president was telling you guys that you're lying. Then worse on top of it, your minister of commerce came to you and then she told you guys that they got rice in the country, the current stock will be there. Then she told you guys that you shouldn't even worry about it because they finished giving the people 11 or $14 million for rice. And we know that it is all lies. They're all lying to you. This is not the era, okay? Don't let nobody come to you and tell and say, oh, the president got you at heart. The president is thinking about you. If the president got you at heart, you will not be having party while you're suffering, you're hungry. If the president got you at heart, he will not go in church to talk about Louis Brown and Mr. Cummings that he's afraid of democratic process. If the president got your heart, he will stand up and be speaking to you. He's not even speaking to you. He's been silent. So Liberian people, pay attention. I will not tell you what to do. But elections coming up, 2023, you have the choice to make the decision for you and your children and your family. This president and his lieutenant, the minister of finance, the minister of commerce, the information minister, they are all in cahoots. And they have lied to you. So you got to do the thinking for yourself now.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. Kev Hassan, you want to go? Yes, Tomani George will take us home.
Sometimes, I understand that, because of politics, because of affiliation, people will say things. But one thing I would say to the Liberian people, the storm will pass. There's a favorite gospel song that I grew up with. So the storm is passing over. The storm will pass. It will pass. This at the time that who for you will stand with you, and know that this president, if you know him and you talk to him, I've not seen nobody who running to become president of Liberia who got the Liberian people at heart than this president. They know that. The opposition know that. They know that.
And you know how they know that? Even some of them who were introduced by Mr. Cummings, I can take 3 of them, or 4 of them, who have met some of us quietly, wanting to join this president. But as professionals, we'll not call names unless they push us. But wanting to join this president because we know that. So some of my guys around this platform know that. They know I'm not lying. They know that. They will go around and on different platforms. This president, no rights, no rights. But they come to us silently, want to join this president. My guys on this platform know that. On that very team, I can name you 2, 3, 4 on that very team. Liberian people, don't let them fool you. This storm will pass. This storm will pass soon, very soon. They're playing with you. They're using your agony. They're using your agony just for their own benefit. They're going in your head. They have done that. But when they get there, they will not do it. The same people, that same team, the Ellen 2.0 by Mr. Cummings, they ruled this country before. They were there. Even within the ANC, there's quiet mutiny of that team. There's a quiet mutiny within the ASC because of that team, because that's Ellen 2.0. They want to use this situation. They come here, act like they're for you. But this situation, where the same people, the face of the ANC, of what they call with CPP, ANC, Mr. Cummings' team, what's the name of Tim Cummings? They rule this country. Liberia, they were there. But now they will come to you and say, I'm the Jesus for you. Beware of false prophet. Beware of wolf in sheep clothing. They are wolf in sheep clothing. They will come here and tell you. But when we tell them to go and watch development in Liberia, they say no. To go and see things, they say no, we're not going there. But some of them will come and meet us at night and say, we want to join this president. And we'll tell them, declare. Oh no, want to do it sideways, you know how people. No, declare yourself. I've spoken to some of them within the Cummings team. Cummings, if we could either agree by the deal they want to strike with us, they will not be on that team. My guys, they know. My guys, that on this platform know that I'm saying the truth because they know. But that's the deception they're giving you. If this president was so bad, why did they come to us at night to join this president? If this president was so bad, why did they come to us? Why they contacted me to talk for them? Yes, I was sitting right in Liberia. Yeah, I get phone calls. They can't deny it, but I will not call names. They know themselves. They know themselves. Unless they deny it, they will talk. But I will not do it. So if this person was so bad, I'm watching some of them on the team Cummings. I say, yeah, my people, you come to me, you speak to me, but then you go and bash this president while you come to us by night. So Liberian people, you please understand, this storm will pass. You have the best leader who up at night working on this situation. This storm will pass. In a couple of days, I will be on the show telling you the storm is passing over. You know, some of us who grew up in the Holy Ghost filled church, we know what I mean. That song, the storm is passing over. The storm will pass. Don't be fooled by wolf in sheep clothing. Don't be fooled. They come here and show your faces. They will tell you, we for you, but they were there. What have you done at that time so we can be in this problem? You were there. You took part in government. You beg us for jobs.
Okay.
Give it to you. You try to change your face. But I'm saying this, Liberian
Let
people.
me say something quick.
The
I'm not
storm
here.
will pass. The storm will pass.
Thank you, Captain.
In a couple of days, it will be solved.
Thank you very much. Tomone?
Storm is passing over.
So we do agree.
On a serious,
So Tomone George, we do agree there's a storm in the country.
of course.
Thank you.
And we do
I
agree
just gotta-
that it's going
we
to
do
take some
agree-
natural, supernatural power. That
We do agree that there's a storm in the country. So
The country is in a serious. The country
natural,
is,
supernatural power for a storm to pass. We do agree
Tomone,
that the president
go
has
ahead.
to
Dr. Richardson will come to you. Let Tomone finish up.
the country is in a serious problem. It's in a serious crisis, and there's no secret about that. In 6 days, we'll be 365 days away from the general election in Liberia. In 6 days, will be exact 365 days for the next election in Liberia, and it is just saddening that the present administration, they are not really handling this rice issue crisis well. The silence is causing speculation, and people are thinking on all sorts of things. But I will say again today, Liberian people should exercise maximum restraint in this current crisis. Just imagine, I will just digress a little. A few days ago, they confiscated millions of dollars worth of drugs. And you think it was just something that's something that just easy. It was an organized drug cartel. People involved. There are people in the government, I believe, that connected to such a thing. Okay, when that consignment, when you just come in the country like that, we heard some names, but one of these days they'll be exposed. They're bringing these drugs and damaging our people. Then they call them Zogos. Our people have been in trouble because somebody get frustrated with the that's what they do, taking drugs. We don't have the counselors there, the professionals there to help these people. But it's a serious crisis in our country. We should recognize it, and we should not play politics with it. We should not play blind loyalism. It's not time for it. If you love Liberia, you love the government, even you support the government, be very blunt and come and say it. That it's a crisis that the government needs to handle this crisis the best way possible. It's a serious thing, and I'm a student of history. Rice is not something to play with in Liberia, though. The calls tonight, people crying on the phone talking about about rice issue. Okay, and all of us on the platform, I can bet you, in the last 24 hours, you have received calls from family and friends in Liberia telling you they want help to help them buy something else, and we should not take it for a joke. And I can tell anybody this: what happening today, the last couple of weeks, will be on the ballot next year. People will use it. We can say, oh, non-politics, but people will use it. It will be on the ballot next year. Okay? I expected by now the president or the minister of commerce to have come before the Liberian people to speak to them, address this issue. You know, even you tell the people something, you know, the people, they will understand. But to just be silent and people speculate, then people see people drumming over the fence, fighting to get a bag of rice. People got money to buy rice, they can't see the rice. Some people say they hide in the rice, this place, that place. It's not fair to Liberian people. I'm afraid that the election have gotten more, it will become more tense now. It will be more, if you're ever far, it's going to get closer now because people are going to use this. And I'm sorry to say that our international partners are watching us, especially when they know that there was money appropriated for subsidy to subsidize rice importers. And the issue now, they are blaming the rice importers too. No, heads should roll. The cabinet should convene. The legislature should come back for emergency session, not only to discuss a bill that for the interest. No, the speaker, chambers, pro tem chair, you guys should come back, call the people back to session and ask these questions. You guys appropriated the Liberian people money for rice, for subsidy. And today the problem is the rice subsidy, you have no hair, no tear about it. When you call the person, the minister, you say, my man, don't get me involved. You call the person you know, oh, don't get me involved, my man. Please. Don't call my name. Oh. I don't know what happened. Oh. That thing any serious. Oh. It's a serious problem though. I told somebody who's a member of the party, the CDC ruling party, yesterday we had a long discussion. Person in leadership. But I said, but my man, why you're not speaking? I said, you guys are going for election. Somebody you come and address the issue. What is it, Georgie? I mean, to say what? Say we're not part of the orbit that discussing the issue. What can we say? The issue, I mean, we fall down inside flat. My people, it's a serious crisis. And I'm saying again today as I end, I pray and hope by next week, by this time, we should be discussing our rices in the country and Liberians are able to buy rice. If this issue continue up to extend next week, I don't know what will happen, but I'm afraid for our country. I pray and hope that God will intervene and bring this crisis to a close. But it's a serious thing, and I'm worried about it right now. Very worried. Thank you, CEO.
Senator George, thanks a lot. I want to say thanks to all of our many, many followers. This indeed is a crisis. Like Kev Hassan called it, a storm, a very terrible one. We want to say to you, please understand. Understand something. Begin to think within yourself. The speaker, the president pro tempore, Buffer Chimba and Albert Che, Fonati Kofa, deputy speaker, all of them, you ask yourself a question. They would never ever make Liberia better. As I speak to you right now, most of them, some of them, they are not in the country. They have left the country. Your senators, your representative, care less about you. But here come election again. They will give you $10, and the back of us you can't find today, they will give it to you for you to vote for them. They will lie to you again. Please be wise. Think about your children, your grandchildren, their education, their tomorrow. Please be wise. This is embarrassment to see our fellow countrymen going to Sierra Leone to beg for bread, going to Guinea to beg for bread. This is total embarrassment to our nation. Say what you want to say. Either which way, this is a disgrace to our nation. I want you to join us tomorrow. Let's tell you about the Commerce Ministry. Join us tomorrow. Let them have a good conversation. I will ask the guys that we just go to Radita Market, Red Light. Go out there. If you can go as far as Buchanan, Von County, go to Kakata. Ask the people. We'll fight with everything we have. A way of the radio and the social media, the TV, to educate our people and tell them I want to say thank you for joining us. Thank you for giving us your time. We appreciate our Liberian brothers and sisters that are running for offices here in America, Representative Mayor, the Kia Riggs, Winfred Russell, Safwa, Barkley, and Elliott, the rest of them. We will go out to represent them, to ask folks to vote for them. They are Liberians. Don't tell me whether they are sedition or opposition. I care less. They are Liberians. I will do everything to ask folks to vote for them because they are Liberian. If I vote for them, if I encourage someone to vote for them, I would be represented. I will have a Liberian sitting there. And that would be my joy and my happiness. So if you know anybody in Minnesota, tell them because they are Liberian, they should vote for them. There's nothing less. Whether they are Grebo, Crew, Kisi, Basso, Madingo, Pede, Loma, Kran, Gio, Mano, whatever it is, Grebo, the mere fact that they are Liberian and they are running, vote for them. That's all. We want to say thank you. May the Lord watch between us all, your children, as they go to bed tonight on an empty stomach. May God help our country, Liberia. May God bless us. May God continue to put through this storm, like Kev Hassan says, it's a dark storm. Through it all, learn to trust in Jesus. Learn to trust in what you believe in. Hold on to your faith. Through it all, know better days is coming. Better days are on the way. Through it all, we shall overcome and we will celebrate.
Amen. Amen.
May God bless you. Never give up. Don't go on the street. No. Never lose hope. He is there. It's hope for the hopeless.
Preach, brother. Preach. Preach.
I love to see you tomorrow. Join us again.
Amen.
Powerful show for you. Listen to the voices, but listen to that inner voice that said, peace, be still. Listen to that little voice in your heart that said, don't go on the street to demonstrate. You don't know what may come next. But yes, indeed, you have hope. Amen. Let God bless you, yeah? Let God be with you.
You believe and I believe, and together we pray, Liberia will be saved.
Will be saved. Have a good night, Kev Hassan. Have a good night, Sintoman and George. Dr. Richardson, have a wonderful night. Let's bring in Aaron Kuban. We want to say thank you, Aaron. Come back on, Aaron. Have a good night, Aaron. God bless us all.
Amen. 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 Amen.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Okay, so James.
Go ahead.
Okay, so folks, this is how we love to go on this edition of the program, the Spoon Talk, the biggest thing that takes place on your radio, online, and television as well. We'll be back here tomorrow with another edition like you listen to the CEO. My name is Aaron Kuban, and thanks for following, and keep following Spoon TV.
You want to know what is happening more of your Spoon.